You one line.
That's not much of a warning, asshole.
Always be ready. Never let your guard down.
I'm just prepping for salty. I don't mind me.
Nobody liked my teriyaki pork tonight.
I didn't know it was up for grabs. I thought that was something.
Oh, you ate it. Okay.
I haven't even gotten there. I haven't even gotten there yet.
I just had a bite and it's.
Oh, I'll be eating the fuck out of that.
Okay.
Yep.
Hello.
Hi.
And welcome to Loaded Jokers.
I'm
Yeah, I'll do it.
Anybody's watching on Facebook, we won't be having a live chat there. If you care to leave drop comments, you're more than welcome to. If you would like to participate in live chat, please hop over to twitch.tv/KillKillTV.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Shit, Cass.
Oh, shit, boy.
Oh shit.
Oh, Lindsay's watching. Hey,
Hey,
Lindsay.
Lindsay and
Andrew.
Cass, thank you.
Love you, Lindsay. Fuck you, Andrew.
Wait, where's
I'm just kidding. I love you too.
Is it under Kill Kill or?
It's under his.
Okay.
I don't have a Facebook.
Where is it?
You should,
Let's
sir.
see.
Where's the show?
Huh?
Get ready to turn his tablet down too.
It's coming.
Have you?
It's coming. Where's the show? I don't see it.
I don't know.
I don't see all these old
When
passes.
last we left our adventurers,
So many dings.
Refresh the page.
let's see.
You guys continue.
Having survived a furious battle in front of the High King's castle at Ravenswood, the king himself not surviving, took him to a temple where a resurrection ceremony was performed. There was one magical component lacking, that being a diamond worth 1,000 gold pieces. The only one that you were able to procure was a black diamond that was identified magically as an element, a component of another spell that is used to control a greater undead, so to speak. But apparently, despite its previous use, was able to be used to new effect with the King of White Sparrow. The resurrection spell complete. He was very tired and drained from the experience. It took him another full day to recuperate and recover, where he was well enough to travel back to his king, back to his castle in the heart of Ravenswood. But he seemed different, perhaps a changed man for the experience. Perhaps temporary, we hoped, not permanently. His demeanor varied, where before he had been so caring of everyone around him and in his kingdoms, the people who did business and trade and lived within the walls and the realm that he oversaw. He seemed quite dismissive, caring only to return to his bedchamber to retire and drink heavily. Your party, having accompanied him back to the castle, being somewhat concerned by this behavior, did try to seek audience and enter the royal chambers, where you met the Princess Clarity's new protector. Would look to be a stone and metal automaton you learned to be named Pendulum, who was built by a lady who seemed very, very uncomfortable in her finery and gowns. A very surprised and scared Clarity and the High Queen were also present when you met Cog, the creator of this automaton pendulum. Information was exchanged, questions asked. The king took his leave, took to bed. You and your party went back to the Great Hall. You met with the new captain of the guard to exchange what information that you had to ensure the safety of Ravenswood and your new allies there, to safeguard them against members of, or people who seem to be operating in the name of the Black Rose. While you were exchanging information with the captain of the guard, Salty Eye had a question and a request of this newfound tinkerer and builder, the creator of the new automaton guardian for Princess Clarity. Asked if there was something that could be done about her scarred and useless eye that was under her eye patch. Cog responded that she did not know restorative magic that could return her sight, whereupon Salty Eye said, "That's not what I had in mind. Can you remove this for me?" And Cog set about the gruesome task of removing the scarred eye from the socket, but came up with an idea in the process. Oh, her eye replaced with a silver cup and a clockwork parrot.
Hi.
Plans made, ideas exchanged. You guys sought to leave the town of White Sparrow in good hands against the encroaching members of the army the army that looked to take back the refugees who had had their magic stolen, which you had previously escorted to the Temple of Resolve. You yourselves sought to move to the Temple of Resolve, where you would seek teleportation services to new and unsearched places to see what you might find there. In the days-long journey back through the mountains, through the familiar path to the Temple of Resolve, a visit with the Kinku, where the Kinku Tavern, where these bird-like people showed you much hospitality again. Another trip to the Curiosity Shop, overseen by Gravoy Brightworker. A few more fortunes told, and some that seemed positive and some that seemed quite dire. Ivan learned that whoever was writing in his father's diary and journal that he is now writing in, whoever had made entries in there is probably in grave danger. They'd either soon be touched by the hand of death or had been already. Asking Vestamon's aid in finding that, Vestamon tried to scry on who it could be that was making entries into this journal, and Ivan and Vestamon saw a vision of Ivan's father, Sergei Chekhov, father to Ivan Chekhov. He appeared at first to be at work, doing the things that he would normally do in his profession as a hunter of the undead. A vision of him appeared with his hand on a coffin, and as the vision began to expand, he looks back over his shoulder with a wry smile, as wry as can be on a dragonborn, to reveal a set of fangs that would not normally be found on a dragonborn. You arrived at the Temple of Resolve at last. It seems that this leg of your journey is about to be complete when Armaeus has made a decision. He decides to be the crux of his deal that he made with a devil to return himself from a lair of the 9 hells. His hangman's post, which he had used to reap souls of the wicked to send them back to hell is more trouble than it's worth, and he attempts to leave it high on a mountainside. Its abilities, when he accesses its abilities, seem to want to take control of his mind, and he wants no further part of it as he climbs his way up into the mountains and finds a small stand of rock and some soft earth. With a mighty push, he plants his hangman's post into the stone and the soft earth. And as he's walking away, a storm, furious, the sky angry, begins to churn. And magic takes hold of his mind once more as the sky roils. Clouds gathering, birds fleeing before this storm. The sky appearing to get angrier and angrier. His body, against his will, returns to the post and snatches it out of the ground, and he begins hurrying back down the mountainside. Just moments before, bolts of lightning shatter the earth and send rock and debris streaming down past him. He rejoins the party. You have a short discussion, and you are met by Mushka, the familiar monk who oversees the Temple of Resolve. He recognizes your familiar faces and says, "Friends, where are we traveling to today?" It is around 2 o'clock in the afternoon on the second day of your travel from the Kingdom of White Sparrow to the Temple of Resolve. You have arrived. You have been acknowledged. Hammer and Shield Incorporated.
White Sparrow.
Not White Sparrow, excuse me, Ravenswood. Ravenswood.
I was like, it's like, damn, we're going back there?
Ravenswood.
Wait.
Ravenswood.
2-day travel.
White Sparrow is literally where we started this campaign.
A year and a half ago.
Yeah.
No.
That could be fun someday.
Go back and be gods.
Hammer and Shield Inc. What would you like to do?
Mushka, we need passage to Suzail. Do one of your doors take us there?
We can, from our teleportation circles, we can take you to any teleportation circle. Waterdeep and Suzail, though, will take time.
All right. How much time do you need?
With the coming war, both cities have been warded. To get within their walls, there's red tape. It's bureaucratic nonsense.
How much do we have to pay?
$3.50. It's not free. It's not public transit.
Oh, no. These services are very expensive.
Well,
It will be, to get each of you into Suzail, will be 25 platinum apiece.
so you mean to tell me that all these people are that rich, just traveling here and there and everywhere?
5.
Yeah, you mean
25.
No, if you want to, to bypass bureaucratic red tape and to get to expedite travel, otherwise you'll have to wait about 4 days.
25 platinum to bypass bureaucratic red tape.
I don't think we have that much money.
I've
There's-
never even danced for that much money.
That sounds so accurate.
Yeah.
Well,
Can we get outside of the town without being inside the walls?
How far
Did he
do
say
we get
Waterdeep?
if we don't pay the money?
He did.
what are these movie options?
It's in the opposite direction though.
Unknown in Waterdeep.
25 platinum. It's too much.
Mushka, would you have any other suggestions of travel?
I mean, any dragon who wants to rob? I mean,
There are many places that are within a day or to a half a day's travel from Suzail. I mean, from there, it's just a simple matter of passing the gates to get into the city. There are lots more, it's just talking to the guards, stating your business and getting in. Teleporting in is expensive.
Ivan.
But we can go to Mars Member is a day's travel. It's known as the City of Spice.
What's it called?
Mars Member.
Mars member?
Is this the
Mars
kind of...
Marsimber. Marsimber.
I mean, I know you guys.
It's a
are
coastal.
rich.
It's another coastal city. It's a day's travel from the capital, from Suzail.
I mean, I know you guys have money in your bag and the company account and everything, but I don't think I've seen 25 platinum anything outside of a dragon's hoard.
No, Jack, that would bankrupt the company, as it were. But
Yeah, let's
Well, so
Marsa-
let's travel. Let's travel a days outside of it.
Marsimber.
See,
Marsimber can get you there. I can get you there for 50 gold apiece.
How far would it be from,
From-
a wagon? If we start
For-
taking a wagon?
You took a wagon there?
Yes.
Would probably take you at least a month.
Ah,
It would take a month of travel over land, and then there's at least a week at sea. You would have to traverse the Sea of Fallen Stars.
all of us.
What time are you looking to arrive?
right now.
as soon as possible.
Oh, okay.
Are you aware of the caravan that left Ravenswood not long ago?
When did they leave?
Yesterday?
2 days ago.
Yesterday.
Yes.
Oh, 2 days ago?
The king gave
Yesterday.
audience to these people. They arranged the wedding, the royal wedding.
And they left 2 days ago?
Aye.
Yesterday, I thought.
Oh.
Well, it took
Well,
us
you-
2 days to get here.
You'll be there a month before them.
Oh, we have plenty of time to plan ahead.
Yes. Oh, well, in that case, yes. I mean, there's Marsimber. There's another place. There are 2 other teleportation circles that are in the mountains. One to the east and one to the west and one to the northwest. That's Twillin Gap. Is just between a few mountains.
If I may, how safe are each one of these teleportation circles? I'm sorry, the area around the teleportation circles.
If it's near a harbor, I may have some contacts near there.
Well, I mean, the city, Marsimber is a relatively safe city. It's where most of the fishermen from Suzail will go to winter. They, when they can't get out of the harbor because of the ice,
Okay.
they'll travel to Marsimber to find day labor work, and food is cheap, and it's a relatively safe town.
It also sounds like if we go to Mars Ember, we can make some contacts that could help us in Suzanne.
Perhaps.
Yep.
Maybe even find
There's
favor with someone.
Do we have enough in the company account to get us all there?
For that, yes.
I say we do that.
There's another place that's more remote. I have never in my lifetime used it, but it's on our maps. The Emerald Sanctuary.
Is there any emeralds here, or is that just the
Do you
name?
know anything of this Emerald Sanctuary?
Uh,
Would
How many emeralds exactly?
would Vestamon, since I'm from Suzail, would I know about this Emerald Sanctuary? Since I've lived around the area for many years, from my youth on,
Is
wouldn't
there
I know
a
about all these
ring?
cities around Suzail?
Well, Suzail is a massive city. One, I mean, it was not. I mean, unless Vestamon had a reason to travel into the mountains surrounding Suzail, I mean, we're talking like half a day's travel. I mean, not just the great libraries and everything, but
But
if you would, let's see. Let's just make a quick history check.
2.
I was too busy studying.
Yeah, you with your mind keen on acquiring all the knowledge that you possibly could. You spent much of your time in the
sorry,
trying to spend as much of your time in the greatest libraries that the Kingdom of Suzail had to offer.
Sorry, Zach. Hold on, let me double check that.
Mushka, what is this Emerald Sanctuary known for?
Would have been a 7. I'm sorry.
Is there a particular? Was that?
It would have been a 7. I'm sorry.
Okay.
There was an ancient clan of druids that apparently sometime during the 6th grade age protected individuals before the spell plague.
Do they still exist?
Well, they've never used the teleportation circle hasn't been used in my lifetime.
And this is how far from Suzail? Roughly.
Well, if the roads hold, I mean, it should be no more than half a day's travel, but it's all through mountains.
Done.
I think our best bet is Marcinburg.
Are there
Have we-
rumors? Are there rumors of any hill giants in the area?
Well, there's
I'll
gonna
just-
be a lot of other monsters.
I can just throw my hamster at him. I look at him and I'm just like, I'm just kidding.
And I look at him like, save my life again.
Giants don't scare me. I've killed one in my life.
I mean,
I literally made a giant explode by throwing a 500
well,
pound
don't
hamster at
forget,
it.
Jack off. The guy you replaced got killed by a hill giant. Well, actually, Ember burned him up. Trying
No.
to kill the hill
If we
giant.
go near a harbor, most likely people might recognize me, and they may be more inclined to
You
help.
get it. They will recognize you in a good way, or recognize you in a hey, I want to make some money kind of way.
In a good way. Like before I was captive with that bandit, I was a pretty renowned pirate.
What of the guard? Will they know
Well.
of Pirate Eye? Parrot Eye?
They would be of my real name.
You have a real name?
So that is an option. Do we want to go to Twilling Gap, or do we want to go to Marsember?
Alright, so the pros and cons is Mars Ember seems to be a way that we can find more people to help us, but it'll take longer to get to Suzail.
There's
But we
right now the three
Hey,
closest
Salty
pla-
Lips, what is your real name?
the
I mean, Salty Eye, what is your real name?
It's Salty Eye. For you.
Oh.
so
Are you
it's
winking or blinking?
the three closest the three closest places to Suzail that will not cost you and I is
I lift my iPad.
one you can't afford to lose is Marsimber, the Emerald Sanctuary, and Twillin Gap.
We don't know much information about Twelin Gap.
What's it called? Swollen Gap?
That's
Oh,
the name
my
of
girlfriend's
the video.
Indeed,
What's it called?
Twilling Gap.
Twillin Gap.
Swollen Gap?
Twilling?
Twilling. Oh, still a
Twilling Gap.
name.
And I want to clarify, I'm on the same page as you. I just like to know the pros and cons of each area before we move on.
I think that I think Salty Eye might be our best way in.
Let's do
How
that.
about,
At the very least, we can find work. We can find.
hey, I've got an idea. Just, remember, let me say my idea.
Please, Vestal.
All of us that can morph can all morph into giant birds or dragons and carry everybody. Only person we can't carry is Armaeus, him and that heavy ass hamster and that cross that he bears. So he could pay to transport, and the rest of us could fly there, save all that money.
That might take several
50
weeks.
platinum
Huh?
or 25
Might
platinum.
take about a week or so.
That's-
He'll be there
Well,
instantly.
Vestal, that was. I mean, the gold to get us to these places is not necessarily the issue. The company has it.
Yeah.
Mushka,
It's about time.
would you be willing once again to trade perhaps some gems?
As long as they're of equal value to the gold pieces that it takes for us to maintain such.
Can I entertain my way to save a coin for him? I think they're religious people. She doesn't know
Just
that.
because you're religious.
Hey, yeah, all the people passing
You're
through,
not a little boy. It doesn't
you wouldn't
work.
have to see them again.
I'm a good dancer.
I've seen her do the
Still in
shuffle.
spirit.
I'm sure you dance like a goddess, but eunuchs have no need for such pleasure.
Uniki?
Okay, we'll just pay coin then.
All right. So do we wish to go to Marzember? Is this the correct move?
Is that where everybody wants to go?
It would be
We
best for
didn't
us.
find out
Put it
anything
to a
about the
vote.
Gap place.
Everybody Marzember, say
Yeah.
aye.
Marzember.
Aye.
Hold on, Jack.
Right.
Okay.
Ember brings up a good point.
What's that?
Mushka, what can you tell us of Twilling Gap? You said it was a sanctuary for fishermen stuck in the ice.
No, that's Marzember.
Oh.
That's where many of the fishermen winter from Suzail. They will travel along the coast to Marzember. Marzember it's known as the city of spices, but it's not the most terribly pleasant place. The canals are used as sewers, and there's a bit of a reek there.
And
Twilling Gap, though, is lovely rocky countryside. Was once a trade route. There was an avalanche, closed it off. There are gnomes and dwarves in the area, but the teleportation circle is still there.
and
I know that the gnomes and dwarves of Twilling Gap, they will trade in furs and exotic mountain meats. They see some from the outside world.
And how far are they from Suzail?
About the same distance as the Emerald Sanctuary.
Alright, so I guess that's a moot point. Yeah, I'm into Marzember.
And
Aye.
And it's partially my name, so.
All right. So
And I believe they have good ale, from what I remember.
Mushka, if you don't mind waiting a bit, I think Armaeus went to go shit behind the rock. But when he
As
makes
is his wont.
when he makes his way back, we will have a decision for you, I'm sure.
Anybody notice Armaeus shits a lot? I
Here
don't
he
think that's
does.
normal.
you carried that big heavy
Oh, I think
rock.
I see him coming around.
Armaeus, you're back. I hope you wiped. Come sit.
I was
So-
literally around the corner.
I
I,
hope
wasn't
you
even
didn't
shitting.
Now that everyone is here, perhaps. Oh, I get it. You were feeding your hamster, but we think we've come to a decision. Jack, would you like to take the vote again?
All those from Marzember, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, Marzember it is.
Xenophon raises her hand. It's like, I want to see those dwarves.
Sorry, bearded woman, not today.
We'll get to your thing when you actually show up for the session.
Well, Xenophon, perhaps when we have some information, we're going to have plenty of time in this place. We can always go. It's a half-day travel.
Yeah, we're a month ahead of time now.
We
I feel
can-
like a time lord.
I feel like maybe we should recuperate some money for the company.
I feel like we should also double check to see if they're really going by carriage and we shouldn't be making assumptions.
What's that?
They are.
Well, Vestamon saw them with his own eyes. He took some time and flew very far ahead, and he saw them in the carriages heading north.
Okay,
So we have that confirmation at least.
all I need.
Yes, and we don't need to. I want to tell Xenophon, these dwarves that you want to see may not be of your kind. They may be more warlike and want to fight us. And what we want to
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
okay, but that's what the rest of us like to avoid.
As much as I want to do another bar fight with you, maybe we can do that in Marzember.
All right. So which gateway do we walk through?
Yes, Mushka, I think we have decided on Marzember.
Okay.
Does anybody else feel like that's just 2 dates pushed or 2 months pushed together to make one word? Marzember.
I didn't notice.
Armaeus, you're hurting my head. Please stop.
I'm just saying.
Well, I'm going to ask, what's your
Mushka.
name?
Mushka.
Mushka, is it a him or her?
Him.
It was a him.
How dare you assume their gender?
Mushka, will that hamster be able to come with us? Will he be able to transport with us?
Just the
Yes,
one.
he's spent much time coming and going as he pleases.
Does he pay the 25 gold or 50 gold too?
He hitches a ride.
That hamster does what he wants.
Think you got a freeloader on your hands, Armaeus?
Will he
I'm
be,
okay with that.
So,
I love
His only little friend.
So lonely.
will you be taking your horses and carts with you today?
I don't know. Is it extra?
That's it.
Yes, indeed it is.
How much extra?
How much extra for 2 of the horses and a single cart?
2 horses and a cart?
Aye.
Can't you just throw that in just as a good, gracious thing?
Oh, we are a big party going through and giving you quite a bit of business.
Yes.
Yeah.
For
And that dance is still on the table.
Ivan turns
Is
towards
it a
everybody.
table dance?
For the record, as Hammer and Shield, we're doing okay with gyms and things.
Bargain.
No,
know.
I'm aware we're going to. I'm not going to just take whatever he gives. Just know that for the moment we are doing okay.
Ivan, I was trying to talk the guy into doing us a favor, and you're wanting to pay up.
2
How bad is that damn other guy that used to be with us? Wanting to throw money around like we're a bunch of drunk sailors.
So,
Sorry.
total for everyone, everyone, horses, carts, everything, a paltry 500 gold.
For all the horses and the carts, or for 2 horses and 1 cart?
For 2 horses, 1 cart, and all of you.
500.
What's the going rate for a new cart? I'm just thinking of where we got these
It will
from.
be. I'm actually thinking of that in advance. It would probably cost you about 150 more to purchase new cart and horse.
I say we pay and Marzember, I can dance that.
What if the
I mean, I can play my instrument.
And I'll dance.
There we go.
Alright, let's goof off.
And
over
I'll
there.
shut up.
Alright,
Be doing you a favor.
so... Mushka, do you have are you the one I give gems to?
Yes, I can handle the transaction for you.
Alright,
So we're leaving a cart behind.
one of them. And,
How would you like a new cart, sir?
That would be more something.
I'm taking the horses and cart off of your bill. That's why you're getting such a good deal.
And here I was going to try to persuade him to buy our cart from
Jack,
us.
will you just shut up for a second?
Ah.
Mushka, we are,
Mushka is a very
Grateful.
kind sir.
we are grateful.
I get it. Good cop, bad cop. Gotcha.
It seems like what we did for Ravenswood wasn't a total waste of time.
What?
Mushka's doing us a favor. So, Mushka, I'm going to give you, okay, just some math here.
Let's take all our shit off the other cart.
Ivan, where'd you get that device?
That was given to me by, a man named Jobs.
Thank you.
They call him Steven.
Yes.
Okay.
Steven Jobs.
Just chug mine.
He's no longer with us.
Do you need to pull the abacus out?
That is what I'm doing. Alright,
Just bring it out.
Mushka,
Yeah, I'm not even joking.
I have
Bring an abacus.
4 sets of finely crafted jade earplugs. I have 2 very well cut emeralds.
With some fingerprints.
A few. And some blood. Ignore that. 2 coin necklaces made of gold. And a ruby the size of a fist.
A ruby the size of a fist might work.
I
I'd be overpaying.
A ruby the size of a fist.
My
That's
fist.
a
God,
ruby.
man.
Now, that's what Ivan says, but in reality the ruby is like this big.
Oh. That's still a big ruby. That's probably worth 500.
You're doing it right.
You want the alcohol, but you don't know how to get into it. No, you're doing it backwards. Yeah.
Play with the shaft a little bit.
Other way.
No.
He does that.
Play with this shaft a little bit.
That is acceptable, sir. And he takes the gems
I had it
and
right.
puts them into a fold in his
Swallow.
monk's robes.
Alright.
Thank you.
Would you like me to help?
No, I'm an adult.
No, you're not. Clearly, you're not.
You're drunk.
I'm an adult woman.
You're like a 16-year-old trying to get into a bottle of beer. Oh wait.
Okay, so we're good. We're paid up.
Salty just wants a goddamn drink.
So, Mushka, which way do we go?
And this is, if you would bring your horse and cart around to the side, and he gestures to one of the other monks. They go and they exit back out of the building again. It's the same scene as before. When they open the doors, there are people just coming and going as they disappear, reappear, going from one teleportation circle to another. Almost like a grand central station. This is almost like a hub of transport back and forth. And one of the other monks who you'd seen previously, who had provided you with the little pocket dimension to take your night's rest in, leads away your other horse and cart, and it takes the remaining cart. Did you want to take all of your supplies and the rest of your supplies and put them onto one cart?
Yes.
So everything, your gunpowder, everything.
Yeah.
Cart is well loaded now. You have your water, rations, all the other stuff that you had, and you pack it on the cart. One of them leads the other one away, and says, "I'll meet you inside." And you see out of the corner of your eye as he makes his way up to the granite and marble facade of the Temple of Resolve, as it looks as if they just green light appears over them, over him first, and then the horses and move from one side of the wall to the other until the horses and cart are inside. He said, and Mushka is inside, taking and he puts his hands forward, and immediately to your right over here where they had the shrines to the different gods, there was Tyr and the various other gods around in the corners, and the long hallway in the distance that was said to be a central door to a city that touched all of the other planes. On the floor around the teleportation circle, stones and runes begin to glow in different order, and he beckons you, says, "Have a good time," in Mars member, as he beckons you to walk across the circle.
Small thing of note, when we would have dismissed the horses and everything, the horses and I'll leave this up to a vote, the horses I would like to keep are Nookie and Roland. I'm okay with letting Break Stuff, Ass Clap, and Poopy Pants.
I think you're just tired of saying their names.
Okay, well then.
You just wanted to say their name.
Well then, I'll see you halfway. We'll take Nookie and Poopy Pants.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
As
Did it
Salty
all for the
walks
Nook.
onto the teleportation circle, she says, "Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. People may have thought that I was dead for a long time."
It's okay.
As
People think
Salty Eye steps onto the circle, and you see a wave of white energy move from left to right as she steps across the center of the circle, and she's gone.
When I get on the other side, I want to take off my armor as a joke for when they come across. I'll be naked.
Okay. So as soon as you step across, what do the rest of you want to do? You as soon as you feel the magic, that energy just wash over you, you reach up with a lopsided grin and adjust your eye patch and hit the quick release on your armor as it falls away. Yeah, she has a quick release on her armor,
Yeah.
so
It's an extra action.
So instead of it taking 5 minutes to doff her armor, it literally comes off. Yeah.
I'd like to backflip into the nice glow.
Okay. All right.
I'd like to make my way over.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm walking through.
Everybody makes their way
Nice.
slowly.
I'm going to hold my breath and walk through.
And having only experienced this type of magic once before, Ivan nervously steels himself as he steps through. And again, you feel that strange sensation as each of you step across, where the vision in front of you swims momentarily. you're looking at first at the inside of the temple, and there's a brief flash, whereas if everything feels as if everything around you shifts suddenly under your feet. It's a feeling of an intense forward motion as everything goes black, and there's quick streaks of light as the scene shifts around you, and you are standing in what looks to be a somewhat busy city center.
And she's naked in the middle.
As the first thing that you see as you step through is Salty Eye's completely nude form. And she's standing there.
Salty Eye, meet Misty Pants.
For a moment, I'll panic, and then I'll look and I'll go, "Oh, my clothes are still on. Thank goodness."
That's a good one.
Ivan that didn't take long. Is this how they know you here?
Actually, no. I put my armor back on, and that was just for you guys as a joke.
You got me.
Around you is you instantly recognize as a seaport town. As you look to your left and right, there is behind you a small hillock in a grassy area with stones that are like this. The glow is slowly subsiding from the permanent teleportation circle that exists here. Behind that, you can smell the salty air. You're used to this. You've experienced this many times for many months at sea before. But the air is cooler here than the recent tropical the tropical seas that you've more recently experienced. There are large bits of ice that are breaking up, floating around in the edges of the water that are off behind you. You see buildings that look like they've just been through a recent winter, weathered and paint chipping. The signs of a recently past winter all around you. That let's see. With all of your passive perceptions and what you would know of the changing of the seasons and where you've been, you realize that you have been far enough south. You have spent the entire last winter in the tropics, and you are returning as spring is breaking, as winter is breaking, spring is oncoming in this city of Mars member. To your left and right, as you're making your way down this hill, you see boats that have becoming unmoored. It looks for probably the first time in months. Many being set back into the water for the first time as people are working to get the city sort of back up and running again.
How many boats look like they're stuck in ice, still waiting to thaw?
It looks like as if they're probably just like in the very corners of the most shadowy places. There may only be one or two left where they still have to break the ice around them.
So
But this is very much a city that is coming back to life right now.
So is it cold?
It's still a little. There's a chill in the air. You have traveled where you have traveled to is some 1,000 miles to the north.
Since I don't want the horses to go in shock, I'm gonna get a couple of blankets out of the wagon to throw.
Cool, and you do have with you some of the finest wool that is available in all of known
And they're
Faerun.
wasted on horses.
That's what I was
Does
just about to
Salty
say.
Eye recognize any
Those are our
blankets
blankets.
Hey, there's
from
horse
her
blankets
travels
here
as a
too.
pirate?
Make a perception check.
Here.
Okay.
What was the question?
The Salty Eye recognizing you, the boats from her travels as pirate.
Well,
12. You don't see anything that looks to be a pirate standard. Immediately, you do see, as you glance back over your shoulder at the cool wind whipping off of the Sea of Fallen Stars, you do see a couple of naval ships. You see flags from the Kingdom of Cormyr behind you.
Hey, Ivan, there's some Cormyr ships over there.
Naval at that.
I guess that means we're in the right place, or at least close enough. Do we need... That horse has a nice blanket. Do we need anything while we are here, or do we want to start casing people and...
I'm gonna pick up some more arrows.
Yeah,
I think the first thing I will do is go to the tavern and see if I recognize anyone.
that
If anyone wants to join me.
we probably need to find a place to stay too, and if the tavern doubles as an inn.
That's
It does.
clever.
It's like winter in this area, right?
Winter is breaking. It is no longer cold now. The ice that's the ice that's left in the harbor.
Oh, it's breaking.
It's
Gotcha.
been people have broken up the ice. The boats are going back out.
Spring is coming.
So, but
Salty Ice also seems a little bit nervous being back in the area.
okay.
Do I notice this?
Notice what?
That she's nervous?
Yeah. Make a perception check. Actually, you've been with Salty Eye long enough. You would know her stand. Yeah, you know. Actually, yeah. You probably notice her casting her one good eye about.
Alright,
Mhm.
because I've noticed that, I'm going to keep an eye out for strangers that may be eyeballing her in a rather nefarious way.
They're all gonna be eyeballing her, okay?
She was just naked in the city center. So
No, but you know what I mean, with like malicious intent or...
gotcha.
Hatred.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, you better watch out for yourself, too.
No one knows me here.
No, but these sailors, they're horny. They've been out there putting their boats to sea. And you're a couple of good-looking women that come to town. What do you think they're going to do? You don't pay them.
Vestamon, what makes you think all these sailors are straight? Better watch your butthole too, buddy.
I'm gonna have Salty
That
Eye.
is the wisest thing I've heard Jack Ryder say.
That is the best thing.
That is
Jack Ryder knows all sexuality.
Yeah. That
Salty Eye's gonna start
that
walking
might like
towards
that
the
mouth
tavern.
of yours, too.
Hey man, I suck a mean dick, I'm just saying.
Now I know where he gets his name from.
There is
Cock your hamster.
I mean, none of you have been to this particular city before. You have traveled to Sea of Fallen Stars, but this particular city you haven't been to. But you do see there are, within eyeshot of you here, as you look around, there are the names of 3. There's the Old Oak Inn and Tavern, the Roaring Griffin Inn and Tavern, and the Barrelstone Inn.
Dude, we don't know.
Roaring. I'm gonna go towards Roaring Griffin.
The Roaring Griffin?
I follow.
Okay.
I'm following your lead at this point.
Okay, and as you make your way down to the Roaring Griffin Inn and Tavern, you're as you move further away from the sea and up the roads towards the canals and the different sea inlets, you notice like the stench coming from the canals it's just absolutely horrible. The waters where behind you towards the open sea were somewhat bluish. The waters all around you are brown, and you can spot in a couple of places where they have something of a working sewer system that just dumps tons of raw sewage into the canals. So
Sweet.
Love this town already.
I feel
Classy
like
people.
I need bug spray for one reason or another.
Did I need a tetanus shot? I think I have some of those.
okay, you make your way again. The Roaring Griffin. The smells as you move away from the canal, it's a little bit more bearable. It's almost choking for a minute. You make your way.
Sorry, I'm listening. Cass is sending us a bunch of Snapchats, which are also going in Discord.
there is a smell that coming from the tavern that is exactly the opposite of what you smell behind you. Whereas the canals were choking and hard to breathe, there are aromatic smells coming out of the Roaring Griffin. Things that you can't quite identify, but begin to make your stomachs kind of rumble. It's the smells of good cooked food,
Is this
but
the tavern we're going to?
spices that you haven't tried yet before.
From the time that we left the temple to now, does it feel like it was an instantaneous thing, or
It does. It does. The sun is sitting in nearly the same place in the sky.
Okay.
Just the temperature around you became very different. So it was pretty much instantaneous. By the time you got done moving your carts and making your transactions, having your discussions, it's about 3:30 in the afternoon. And it's still kind of early.
Sweet. Let's go to Zen. Food.
Yeah, it is probably time to eat. And
All right, make sure everybody talks to their NPCs properly, okay?
I'm craving noodles.
Salty Eye, as
with
we
meat.
come up to the Roaring Griffin's tavern, she's going to open a door first.
And a very tall, slender half-elf turns around. Says, welcome to the Roaring Griffin. It's so good to see you all. Please come. Are you new to our tavern?
Yes.
Yes. Come in. Will you be staying for dinner?
Yes.
Our chefs are world renowned.
Is there a place to stay for all of us?
This is an inn and tavern. We have rooms upstairs.
We'll all need a place to sleep tonight as well.
Outstanding. Will you be rooming together, or do you need individual rooms?
We can room together.
Yeah, it's safer together.
typically, it's what we do. So
Yeah. We're paranoid.
Do you have a big room with a lot of beds?
or do you have one room with a very big bed?
We have
Us eight-person bed.
We have a stable.
Well, that will probably be good for
The horses.
Nookie and Poopy Pants, but for us, four rooms, 2 apiece.
Sure.
I'll be with Jack.
Unless you got a hostile type of staying.
Oh my God! He
All right,
went digging
no more.
through. He went digging through my Instagram and found one of my old pictures.
All right. Anyways,
Okay.
But yes, could we do 4 rooms with 2 beds each? Is that the possibility?
Absolutely.
And your chefs, world renowned as they may be, do they know their way around bacon? It's important.
And your rooms, do they have adjoining doors?
For secret
Let's just
orders?
drink, guys,
They
and
do.
let her handle it.
We have rooms available for you with 2 beds, not with adjoining doors, but
Look into that. It's all the rage over in Europe. Whatever.
what's a euro?
What is a Europe?
My joke fell flat. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Miss, I'm sorry. This is Salty Eye. She's our guide in this area. What is your name?
I'm Aaron.
Aaron. My name is Dick.
Dick.
Hi.
Pleasure.
Salty Eye just.
Yeah. Wait. I messaged you like, you go by Dick?
Yeah.
Why?
I'll explain.
Oh, I can't wait.
We are gathering information for my new book. We're looking for things of importance in your city. Is there something in this town that you're particularly proud of?
Oh wait, I mean, it's just it's a humble trading town. We best known for the spices that flow here, which is why why so many great chefs are attracted to our city. If you hadn't heard, we are known as the City of Spices. So, should your tastes range into the most exotic, you can definitely be accommodated.
Aaron, speaking of exotic, do you have a stage?
We do.
Do you need a dancer for tonight?
I'm sure the guests would love entertainment.
Could I?
Dinner is served sharply at 6. We can pay you no wage. Should you wish to perform, well, tipping is encouraged.
Okay. Well, may I take the stage at any time?
Well, you could take the stage right now if you like, but there's nobody in the dining hall.
Okay, I'll wait then.
Do you already have a house bard?
This is starting to feel very familiar.
Jack is my bard. He is the music to my dance.
Well,
And I wink
what
at
are some
Jack.
of the songs that you know?
Oh, I know a lot. Have you ever heard Who? What?
He's very, very
A classic
popular.
folk song, I'm sure.
Trust me, he's very popular.
But if you would like to sit in with our house band this evening, that
Ooh,
would be
perfect because I can't play an instrument. I just sing.
Oh no.
Oh.
No. I can't play an instrument, but I can sing.
No.
That's the thing.
Oh, I was thinking the other way around.
No.
I thought when you sang for the king, he went impotent.
No, I was playing a lyre, I'd imagine.
I
I can't. I mean, that's in my
I
backstory. I
thought you
can't
were
play
a liar.
instruments.
Wait.
So Jack, me and you will go up on stage with the
Let's
other,
do this.
the other, I guess, the
so
band.
she lets you know that it's the rooms are only 5 silver a night for so
Easy enough.
yeah, take
I'll,
that from the company funds.
I'll prepay, 2 nights?
Sure.
I mean, we're not going to be that long, I'm just saying.
We can do some.
It's
I
cheap.
mean,
around
2
town.
nights is 48 hours more than
Wait, I thought we were leaving in the morning.
We are.
Well, let's pay for the
Just in
night.
case something interesting happens.
We might stick around the town, see who's from Suzale.
So it's about 3 right now.
Getting closer to 4 now. It was about 3:30 when you arrived, so it's getting closer to 4 now that you've made your way up the streets to the tavern. You've had a quick exchange with Aaron.
Aaron, do you know of any pirate ships that came through here anytime?
Heavens no, piracy is illegal.
Okay.
I didn't know that. How interesting.
I imagine that
Hey,
you-
Saltia, aren't you a?
Wonderful
so.
dancer.
Yeah, aren't you a necromancer?
And I give him a look like,
Okay.
I imagine,
I'm an entertainer.
Yes,
Jack.
you are. You're a very good entertainer.
Yes, I am.
I imagine they feel the same about never mind.
So while we're on the way to the tavern, was there like some sort of like town board full of like requests or?
I know what you're getting at.
Sort of like a post board, a bulletin board sort of thing.
Of shenanigans, of which some people could do for hire.
You know, kill the dragon in the hills. There's some sheep that need herding.
Odd jobs.
Online dating.
An odd job posting. Indeed, there is. You passed by one on the way here.
Okay. Well, it might be. We could see whose names are from Suzale and maybe do some favors for them.
Yeah, we could do a bunch of fetch quests.
Yes.
Yeah, level up, grind, kill those sheep.
I would like to do 1,000 fetch quests. What's my level now?
Specifically, we could look for something interesting, like missing people or something like that, leading back to Suzale.
Yeah.
Or we could do it. Or we could do this hammer and shield style and make sure the town really knows us. You know, the good old-fashioned way.
Burn it down.
And then we
Something like that.
Exactly. What do you do when you go to towns now?
Somehow, some way, we end up being known.
You're gonna be
Not always the
with us.
best. Not always the best way for people to find out, but we get known.
That's okay.
Typically for good.
Typically for good? Well, everybody knows me anyway. I point at some random person. Heard of Jack Ryder before?
During our conversations,
Some random person.
Yeah.
No.
Are you kidding me? Everybody's heard of Jack Ryder. Come on.
Have you heard of Hammer and Shield Inc? Did I do an oopsie?
Are you asking? Who are you asking?
No one.
Are you asking Aaron, or you want to just like
talking to
just
myself.
grabbing the random person off the street that he's asking?
That he's
Oh,
asking,
that would be
yes.
funny, yeah. Well, watch him be like, no, I've never heard of you, but I've heard of Hammer and Shield.
And the guy that you stopped, he's walking along carrying a very large mackerel. It's just like hey. Is that a forge? A local blacksmith, perhaps?
Good man, on your way, on your way.
Hey,
Is this woman fish to you?
Yes. Definitely.
So, quick thoughts. When the two of you are performing, perhaps if you draw some people in, we can ask, interesting things or
Leave
something.
that to me,
Pickpocketing,
Ivan. That's
but
my
not.
plan.
All right, fair enough. Ember, Armaeus, would you like to go see the board and see what we can find?
Alright, sounds like fun.
I'm already there. Let's go.
But you're right in that.
Are Jack and I staying at the tavern?
I'd imagine so.
Ivan,
Alright,
it's like
we're
you
gonna
just met
rehearse a
me.
little bit.
okay.
Yeah, you're gonna get on stage and start doing some moves and warming up. I'm just gonna go me, you know.
I'm gonna tell her. I'm gonna tell you like when I do a certain move, I want you to go high pitch, low pitch.
Okay, all right. We're coordinating.
Okay, so who's going to the message board?
Make sure to say ASL first. For those of you who are old enough to get that.
Apparently I am.
I am too.
American Sign Language?
Age, sex, location.
Oh.
And you put another S on there for size. You're a creep like me.
ASLS?
ASLS. Never mind.
Who?
Crickets
Okay.
are chirping.
I always asshole.
So again, you guys begin setting up you can smell from the kitchens. It's just all these fantastic smells that are coming from the kitchens as you move into the dining hall. There you do find a small stage. It's about 8 by 6 at the far end. There's a little brass bowl set up. It looks like it's set up for people to put tips in, and a couple of chairs on the stage already. You can hear the clattering of pots and pans in the back, and indistinct shouting in the kitchen. Somebody giving orders. No, the fire has to be higher. You can't cook it like that. You can't cook it with insufficient heat. As you guys begin your rehearsals and you guys move through the city streets to the.
When we reach the street, I want to take a look, and is there anything resembling organized guard?
Make your perception check.
24.
Indeed, you do spot there is there are some people that look as if they would be peacekeeping officers, but they appear to be with that high perception check very poorly trained. It's like they're not even wearing their sword belts properly. They're allowing them to sag too far, and they have a kind of lazy demeanor about them. Like they're more interested in keeping an eye out to the sea. Like this town doesn't usually see a lot of trouble, probably because the guards that you do spot don't seem to be terribly alert. The only reason that you even recognize them as guards is not because of their demeanor, but because the 5 that you spotted from walking to the inn and tavern, the Roaring Griffin, and then back through the streets again, is because they are all dressed similarly.
Do they have like a particular color scheme, or do they wear an insignia?
They have a particular color scheme. It's blues and greens with a red sash.
Actually, do I notice that as well?
Make your perception check.
What was that perception? 14.
Yeah, you don't spot the last one, but you see 4 of them as well, and you do notice that there are guards. So.
Ivan,
Hey.
this is just like an idea here. Have you seen the way these guards are? They seem a little off.
It's a joke.
What if we go to whoever's in charge and maybe suggest a couple things, help them protect their city better, maybe build a social network that way, because whoever's in charge of the guard has power.
This is true.
Just an idea I'm putting out there. We don't have
So
to
we killed the
pursue it.
king.
I like
That's like
it.
saying bomb at an airport. Don't.
I'll look around, make sure nobody heard me. I'm like, it's a joke.
No,
It's a joke.
No, as you're huddled close together, it doesn't seem as if anybody is paying attention to you. As you're moving through the streets, you notice that a dragonborn and a half orc, even a nearly 7 foot tall half orc, is not that unusual around here. There are while the majority of the people around here are human, there are a lot of. This is a port town, and there are people from everywhere. There are elves, half elves, dwarves. You see a couple of gnomes running about. There's even a couple of guys that kind of resemble like a bigger version of Gravois, but there's
Bigger version?
Goliath.
they're Goliath. So I mean that are working as dockhands, moving boats in and out. So there's a considerable amount of hustle and bustle in this city.
That is a very good idea.
So if we don't see anything at the board, that is maybe something we can look up on.
We could, and I don't see that taking very much time, so that could be something we could do quickly. We will continue to the board.
Okay, so again, reaching the message board again that you passed by earlier.
The board is buffering.
There's again 2 wooden posts and slats of wood across it's got like a small gable on the top of it, held in post holes and stone around it. There's you see a big bill up in the top left corner. Breaking Festival. Full week event. Dancing and celebration in the streets. Prepare your halls. Break out your best dress. The celebration will continue day and night.
That sounds fun.
Might be a way to unwind and relax.
Maybe. I would be against it.
You see several postings for dock hands who can help wanted at the docks, at a local sawmill. They need help and it tells you which address to go to for information regarding compensation and day wages. There is a posting for they need a guard for the cellars and crypts.
Ooh. That sounds fun.
A wanted poster.
Ooh.
For the persons responsible for the desecration and robbery of the cellars and crypts.
None.
I'm not there. Yeah, I don't want to do that.
That one sounds fun.
That's the
Now,
one.
do I recognize who the wanted poster is of?
It does not. It's just asking for information. They.
Okay.
Yeah. It says for the persons responsible for.
Okay.
We are quite good at tracking things. That's going to be right up our alley.
We can see footprints.
Also, I wonder why they need a guard for a crypt. Usually they leave them unguarded.
Probably
Is
because
there
the guy's
particular-
desecrating them.
Yeah.
Fucking corpse fucker.
So we might not apply for the job as a guard, but find out why they need them.
And kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
Yeah.
I like birds. We can do this.
If you like birds, why are you trying to kill them?
Misty,
I'm not there.
Do you have any
I'm back in the
questions?
tavern.
I am too. I didn't go to the
Oh.
fuckers. I don't give a shit about this town. I'm ready to leave
Esteban,
already.
how can
I
I
want to
help
ask
you?
you, is it okay if I join your party tonight? I'll morph into a woman. I'll be Miss Deception.
What a stripper name.
Can you dance real fast? I want to see how you dance, because I don't want you messing up my routine.
Oh no!
Well,
I'll be a backup dancer. Don't worry.
Can you please dance for me?
Oh yeah.
Perfect, you're hired.
Can I teach Vestamond a couple moves? How to move his hips?
Okay.
Because hips don't lie. Shakira, Shakira.
Well, I'll move different if I morph into a woman. I'll move differently.
I have a good idea.
Because
Why don't you morph into a
Because I have
boa?
a
Vestamon.
big chest. It'll make me move different anyway.
Vestamon, listen.
And
You
his
need to
hips will be
move your
different.
hips. Let me teach you how to sway the hips correctly.
Jack likes to
Gotta
say a
move
joke.
like
He's
a
like, why don't you morph into a donkey and we can have a whole different show?
No, what I'm saying is,
Jack, no.
no. While I'm distracted, you go pick their pockets. And
No,
get
I was
their
going to
money.
do that
I'll go
already,
stage and
Vestamon.
sing.
That was my plan already.
I mean, we're trying to be noble
He's
over here.
talking about picking pockets and shit. All right, everybody, say it with me now. Long good.
We need money. We're running low on funds.
Listen,
We're
Vestamon,
doing
you
honest
can
work
be
for
the
this.
backup dancer. I will teach you how to sway your hips, but leave the rest to old Salty Eye.
And I have a few tricks up my
And I
sleeve
lift
as
my
well.
eye patch.
Oh,
Show him my parrot.
yes, maybe a bird lady.
Yep.
But I want to see how you dance first. So dance again.
You spend the next hour learning how to dance.
So,
Okay. Let's see. Make just a general intelligence check real quick.
That's a 5.
You don't have any modifiers?
It's a -1 for intelligence.
Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Sorry. I'm sorry. It shouldn't be intelligence. It should have been dexterity because you were trying to teach him how to move.
7.
Okay. A 7? He's got the basic motion left to right down, but there's still just a little something hinky about the way he's moving his hips. It's almost there.
Can I try and
Almost.
help? Can I try and help in this whole dance thing? Maybe he could learn some stuff
So
from me.
Salty Eyes over there going, no, move it like this, and she's not quite convincing with her performance of it, and Vestamon's going, and Jack Ryder jumps up and goes, well, I'll just sing it. No, I think she means like this, and roll with advantage.
That's 18.
And so all of a sudden, it's like seeing Jack's gyrating hips. Vestamon's able to go, oh, you mean like this? and gets it spot on.
Nice.
And so he learns the dance moves in an instant.
All right,
Clip
so you're the backup dancer.
All right.
But you are the backup. I am the main performance.
Yes, I
Vestamon.
realize that because
Salty Eye gets very serious about this.
Well, whatever
Alright.
we do, let's make sure we don't separate.
I'm keeping my eye patch on until the final performance.
Now, for both of you guys, no matter what happens, just keep doing your thing. Because I've got something up my sleeve, okay?
Jack, what do you have up your sleeve? Jack,
That's minor illusion, so you might look like you're sexily on fire. You know? There might be
I was
some
going to pull
fireworks
this
surrounding you
release
guys.
button right on here. And
it's turning into a Psycho DeVille show. Light
Aaron,
the cello on fire.
Aaron, question. She calls Aaron over.
Yes, my dear.
Can I get naked on stage?
Well, there's no law against it. You won't make anyone lose their lunch, will you? Do you have any horrible scars?
She pulls her quickly. Do you think I do? She spins around.
Erotic dinner theater it is.
All right, I'll put my armor back on.
I've got a perfect idea for this. This is great.
Last question.
Remind me not to pull my armor off.
About
Yeah, Esteban, please kick your armor off.
about the message board. The guard for the Cellars and Crypt and the wanted for the desecration of the crypt. Do those have return addresses or people to address or any one person who's posted that?
There are addresses where to inquire.
Okay.
So,
But like no like name attached to it.
Another drink.
no. It just has the addresses to inquire. It seems to be the standard here.
Do those two have the same address?
No, none of these all have the same. They all have different addresses.
Even the guard and the wanted?
Huh?
Even like the guard posting and the wanted posting? They're different addresses?
Are they for like the same like thing, or are they for different?
No.
things?
They are
The crypt guard.
okay.
and
No, those two have the same. Yes.
Cool.
Okay.
Okay.
Have the same address.
I will write that address down.
Okay. Gotcha.
Do you need
Hold on a
stamps?
second, let me
only
Where
one
is that?
left,
Where is that?
All yours.
All right.
So my
Something
thoughts.
liquor
gonna
for
be
you guys.
I need
32
I'm
Bayside Canal Street.
I feel like I'm not doing this right.
And yes, my map is that detailed.
That's awesome.
Would you like me to try?
No.
So my thoughts on this is whatever our performers have planned. What the performers have planned is perhaps would draw people in and we could question those people about the crypts.
Are you back at the tavern?
No shit. I'm
Or-
talking to these three.
Or perhaps they could also be a repeat offender. Why don't we find out what the crypts are about? Or is it are they wealthy people that are being robbed? Or is it a poor crypt? Like,
Is it
we
a
don't know the
necromancer?
details.
Is it a necrophiliac?
Is it a
That's
grave robber?
Necromonger?
That's a good idea.
We should also go to the crypt and find out.
What kind of crypt is it?
We don't know.
Okay.
It's, well, our master crypt is where they bury dead people.
No shit.
Now,
I'm saying, is it a royal crypt?
that's
Yeah,
that
'cause
is
that-
what we were wondering. So whatever crowd these people come to, I can only assume that Salty Eye means to get naked and shake her bum bum around people. But
Oh,
that-
if also, if she's putting on a show, it sounds like it's going to be an elaborate thing. Why don't we start advertising it so the entire town will come?
God, I miss Pip.
Town crier.
Yeah, it doesn't look as attractive as when a dragon man's like, "Come to my show!"
Maybe.
Yeah. Keisha, Dragon Man.
We can stop
Come
by
see the
and
naked
have her
women.
do
I'm not
like the
going
naked
anywhere near
showing,
that.
running around naked, saying that she's going to do erotic dances. Who knows?
That's an idea. What we could see how this goes first, and then
we
perhaps come back
understand.
to that.
It sounds like we need to do this in a specific order before nightfall, though.
Shit, you're right. You're much smarter than I. Artemis, is there something you can do? Can you start telling people you want to see a naked lady dance? Come to the Roaring
We can
Griffin.
get you a big
I look
bell.
I look at the
Why
I
don't
look,
you
I
just-
look at the first person passing by on the street and I said, "You!" I point out. I said, "Naked women playing here."
Why don't you place a note and put it on the bulletin board?
I said, "Naked women here
Or
at
hire
this
a
time,
crier.
please come to the show.
Coin.
Bring coin. It is the only way we live.
Let's do that.
It's the only way we make our money. Naked women show. Please come."
Will the naked women be finer than the ones at the Tankard of Eels?
Finer than you've ever seen in your life.
Okay.
Tell your friends. Tell that person while I tell that person and tell them to tell other people. Okay? Can you do this for me?
There's a strip club in town. That's fine.
You're the DJ.
Yeah, right. I'm the bard.
Does
The person Artemis is accosting, do they appear to be like a grown adult, or are they like young adults? Like,
He looks like a sailor. He's an adult. He's
perfect. I will palm Artemis a couple gold and tell him you can pay the men to spread the word.
here. Take this. I'm giving you money. Giving you gold. to tell people about the show, as many as possible. I give you half now, and I give you the other half when the people are there. Come to the show, and I'll give you the other half. Okay?
I thought you were inviting me to a show. You're now offering me a job?
Yeah. Who's a sailor to deny gold?
Make a perception check. I mean, give me a persuasion.
That was good.
Okay. What is my persuasion?
You better put on a good show.
In the meantime,
Oh, we got it. We got this.
In the meantime, I will write up a very quick Roaring Griffin,
So-
naked ladies
If
tonight
anything goes
only.
bad, let-
See you there and post on the board.
12.
Okay. 12?
Yes.
So like,
What if I become a fire spitter?
yeah,
I have to do that.
I mean,
do you have anything to drink?
let me know about
Yes.
it first.
Here. And I give him the little bit of the wine that Salty Eye gave me.
Yeah.
The sacramental
Perfect.
wine.
And steal.
Salty Eye wine.
Something to steal my nerves before I go talk to the public. To make me see. It's like I've never been a town crier before. Hear ye, hear ye.
Okay, so he's
This
like
evening
visible.
at the Roaring Griffin. Come witness spectacular nudity as you've never seen it
You
before.
guys assume that I'm gonna get naked? I'm just saying.
You said it.
You didn't know that.
You've literally got naked every episode.
So
He goes back into
and he runs off with the bottle of wine in one hand and gesticulating wildly with the other.
Smart, Ivan. Very smart. It looks like it's working already.
That wasn't my idea. That was the woman.
Ah,
Alright.
good job, woman.
Let's go.
I mean, Ember.
Let's go.
Okay,
take up-
and he weaves his way through the crowd and he's like slapping people on the back and telling them about it.
Wow.
He's enthusiastic. I'll give him
I
that.
hope you're ready for
Yes.
this Jack and best them on.
There were just 3 unbelievable rolls over here to make sure that it's like the other things were happening. Okay, yeah, that's right. This is happening. Okay, cool.
Excellent.
So let us go to the address and find out what information we need before we.
Aye.
You guys come with us.
We don't know where the fuck we are. Where are those guards? Are they anywhere nearby? The lazy ones?
They have moved on. There don't seem to be. There's
The lazy ones moved.
Congratulations.
Good
There's just appear to be normal town folk, traders, travelers, people going in and out of shops, stores, and homes.
If I look around, does anyone look like they live in the area? Can I just pull a random bystander and ask them where this address is?
Well, yeah, of course you can do whatever.
Pardon me, sir. We are lost. We need some directions, please.
Where are you trying to get to?
Ivan, where are we trying to get?
32 Bayside Canal Street.
Bayside Canal Street. You go right over here. You cross over the second bridge to the right. Go all the way to the end till you see the Purple Dragon Keep. Bayside Canal is the one on your right. And just look for number 37 because that's Bayside Canal Street right there.
37 or 32?
Did you say 37?
Thir-
That's the street. Look for
Okay.
the number.
Alright, fair enough. Thank you.
Don't mention it.
By the way, tonight at the Roaring Griffin, I hear there's going to be a show. Some naked women. If you ask
The Roaring Griffin?
Aye. There's a man named Jack. He likes it when you touch his tuchus.
I can't go in there.
You're kicked out?
No. My boss is feuding with the owner of that place.
Another question. Aha.
Interesting.
There'll be so many people there.
He says that their chef has been stealing his ideas.
Look,
So, come-
there'll be so many people there that they won't even see you walk in.
I can't chance it.
Well, either way, tell your friends that can't come. I hear it's going to be quite the show.
I'll make mention of it.
Make sure they know Jack likes his tuchus touched. Very important.
Every Jack does.
So do we follow the man's direction?
I say so.
All right. Armaeus, you good?
Yes.
All right.
So you make your way down the streets again through the, following his direction down. You pass by the second, through the second bridge on the right, and crossing over a canal that's particularly foul, to what appears to be an island. There's like this whole thing seems to be a series. This whole town seems to be a series of islands. Off to your left, up high, you can see walls. Like occasionally down the streets, there is a city wall in this. But you're still, like 8 or 9 blocks away from it. It's off in the distance. So every once in a while you can spy it. But then up above one of the walls, as you can spy across a small bay, you see what looks to be the walls of a larger area, a keep. There is no formal street sign on this street. This one seems to be like the buildings are a little smaller, but eventually you do find your way down to the number that you're looking for, 32. It's
32 or 37?
It's 32.
32.
That's what I wrote down.
And he... Let me go back. He's 32, yes.
Okay, good.
You do find just at 32 is a small stone structure. That's it's only 1 story, whereas a lot of the buildings you've been passing have been 2-story. A lot of there were their businesses underneath and residences on top. This is and a lot of wood. This is a solid stone structure that looks to be made out of. As you're approaching some of the, like the first time you can see some of the city wall up close. The stone walls of the city. This building appears to be made of the same stone as the city walls that you're beginning to approach as you're hitting the eastern edge of the city. You see Keepers of the Peace, the sign above the number. Keepers of the Peace, City of Marsember.
That would appear that this is the guard.
So the guard is putting out for a wanted poster of the crypt and like wanting to hire more guards for the crypt?
That's what it looks like, and it appears to me that whoever they've hired can't defend their way out of a paper bag.
Sounds like they need a lot of help.
It does.
It'd be a shame if someone like us were to help them.
I don't break eye contact with them, but I start knocking on the door.
Yes, come in.
I push the door open.
And there's one guy sitting behind a great desk to the left. The whole backside of this is just row and row and row and row of basically cages, iron bars, and it looks like you're at a jail. And there are at least 24 people in cells crammed in, like 4 in the ones as there's several to the empty to the right. There's a half orc sitting behind the desk, hunched over in the familiar colors that you've seen in the rest of the guards walking around. This shuffling through papers, and another human male that's bent over the desk and is, yes, what can I help you with?
We saw your posting on the board about the crypt.
You have information as to who's been robbing graves.
We don't have the information, but we're interested in the job. We are a group of people who travel from place to place. We've solved some problems before. We're looking for some money and perhaps to spread some goodness to our
You're
name.
looking for you want to take up the guard post in the crypts? You have investigation experience. Which job are you after?
A bit.
Hoping to knock out 2 birds with 1 stone.
Perhaps, yeah, perhaps both. Because if we solve this problem, you'll have no need for an extra guard down there, correct?
If you can solve the problem, it's been going on for some years now.
So,
What kind of crypt is this?
It's just outside of the city. We can't really bury anyone in the city. We haven't been able to for decades. No, just outside of the city walls is where we take everyone to bury them because, well, with the rising sea levels and the overuse of our sewers, the underneath the city itself has become quite flooded. When I was young, we had an instance where bodies just began washing into the canals. Ugly business, but since we put them outside the city walls, well, family members have become quite distressed to find that, well, first it was just items went missing from, the crypts disturbed, people who were buried with their rings or, well, they had gold in their teeth. It was just seemed like common grave robbers. But lately, it seems that, well, bodies of their loved ones are missing.
Do you still believe this is over money, or do you believe there's foul magic at play?
I don't know. We can never find anything.
what can you tell us about the people in particular that are being robbed? Are they just common people, or is it this particular family that's being attacked?
I never thought to look at it that way before. Maybe you are the investigator that we need on this job.
Or like Batman.
Wow.
Sorry.
Basic.
Well, before we get
I'm overworked. I don't have time to train all these people myself. I haven't been home in 22 days.
That's a long time.
I sleep over. I sleep out. I sleep out behind the jail.
Thank God I'm not there.
Why don't you hire someone to help you?
That's what I'm doing.
Not on the lower levels. I mean, like someone to cover half your shift, so you don't have to work as hard.
After me.
Like train another individual to do all these jobs.
That's what I'm doing right now. That's why I posted a bill. Everyone under me is incompetent. See, here's the problem. The big problem is when people come here in winter, fishermen and the like, it's like they've made their money for the year. They spend their time drinking, gambling. The alehouses are full. The inns are full. I try to get people to stay here, but they can make more money working at sea than our lords of the land can afford to pay for guards, or will pay.
Is this city funded from Suzail, perhaps?
It's part of the kingdom of Suzail, yes.
So you would receive compensation, assistance, maybe a title?
As part of the kingdom of Cormier? No, we pay taxes to them. It's quite draining.
Usually is. So look, I think we can solve this problem. I think we can at least find you an answer as to what's going on. We will take care of it if we can. What's your name?
What is his name?
I was literally about to introduce our man.
I'm Eli Bannerin. And you are?
Ivan Chekhov.
Ivan.
This is Ember, and this rather large hunking piece of green flesh is Armaeus. We only got into fuck the name of this town.
Marzimber.
Marzimber, yes. We only got into Marzimber today. We saw the posting and we have some time on our hands, so perhaps we can help. There's more of us. We will no doubt employ everyone. We will start in the morning.
I mean, how many are in your party?
Enough to handle this problem.
Okay, well, when would you like to start?
Actually, if I may interject, before we start really tackling this problem head on, we'd like to collect as much information on the possible culprit. Is there anyone that you suspect, anyone that's seen as a loner, anyone that lives far outside the residence that everyone else lives?
If you're going to begin an investigation, I can help you in that regard sometime in the morning, but for now, I have all of this to get. I have to process all of these assholes back out of my jail into the streets. But I can give you all the information I have, and I can take you to the crypts tomorrow morning.
So you don't have any information off the top of your head that you can tell us right now? If
I
we
mean,
see
it's
anyone
a town. This is a town of some 40,000 people. I mean, there's lots of loners. There's lots of sailors. There's lots of.
I'm not talking about sailors. I'm talking about someone that could have possibly lived in the area for a long time. Someone that's not always in and out of the city. If this has been an ongoing problem, it's someone that's a resident or someone somewhat local.
I mean, there's Jan, Viper, Deve, Merrill, Gazid, Romirin. He's a problem. I don't see where he'd be stealing bodies, though.
What was his name?
Romirin.
Now, what is something in common with all these names? Are these riffraff?
Well, I mean, they're just strange sort of folk, you know? They were. Chen, Viper have spent time in the jails. They're more drunks. Deve, Merrill. I'm only giving those names because, well, they're magic users. They're weird. Yazid and Romirin. Romirin, he seems like a. Yazid is, well, I think he's just a criminal. Romirin, though, Romirin's accused of doing a lot of things, but nobody can really ever caught him doing anything. So his whole demeanor strikes me as strange. He's a hell of a cook, though.
He's a cook? Where does he work?
That solved the whole case right here. We're eating humans tonight.
That's what I
I've read this in a book.
Was it a cookbook?
It was Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, which they're making a movie of.
The Barrelstone Inn.
Ah. Now, do they have any real competition with any other places, perhaps?
Well, whenever any other tavern or inn, any one of our fine restaurants becomes very popular for some new creation, our chefs here are very creative, come up with the most wonderful exotic flavors. Whenever it seems that shortly thereafter, Romirin will find a way to imitate that dish and make it just a little bit better.
That's kind of the town I want to live in right there.
The town full of spice has a thing for competing over foods.
I wonder what their drug trade's like.
Hey, you want some paprika?
How about some cumin?
Well, Ivan, do you have any other questions for the man before we retire for the night?
Ask them about their moon sugar problem.
Conchita's where is...
Eli, are we the first to take this investigation, or has this happened before?
No. You're the first. I've only posted this in the last 7 days, and you're the first to come by to actually answer that. We had a couple people that came in saying that they knew who were taking the bodies, trying to collect reward money, but they all proved to be false.
All right.
Should we leave someone overnight? For the guard? Or is there anyone guarding the crypt tonight? Just for tonight.
Well, we have people who make patrols out there, but it seems as though it might be someone who knows the routine, because it's in between patrols. As I say, we're understaffed. That's why we need new people.
Have you thought about making like a scarecrow? Like a guard that looks like he's asleep and changing him up every other night?
Well, we've tried new locks. We've tried chains. We tried a stone door.
Is the entry ever forced?
No, just we show up the next day and it's just... It will just be or the next time a guard makes a shift, it'll just be open.
Do the locks appear to be picked? Do you see chapter marks on the side of the locks or anything like that? Or does it appear that this person has a key?
If they're picking the locks, they're very good.
Alright, I think we're good to begin. There's a couple of people we could ask tonight.
And I think we need to go back into town anyway.
Aye. Eli, thank you. And if things come up, we will let you know what we find.
If you decide to take the job guarding as a guard, as a permanent guard, and you stay there, well, I'm afraid it doesn't pay very well. It's only 5 silver a week, but room and board is taken care of.
Jack my own dick in the fucking square for more money than that.
That's good pay.
I'm not there, I'm just joking.
But room and board is taken care of.
Alright.
So you will have virtually no expenses. But if you can solve and stop this, one of our more wealthy families here, who has lost the bodies of 7 family members so far, has offered a handsome reward. I'm not to disclose the amount, but I'm quite impressed. It's more than I make in 2 years.
Can you give out the name of the family, perhaps?
I'm not supposed to. They asked not to be named because their family has already suffered enough.
Fair enough.
Tell him you're discreet.
Well,
Actually, either way, when we start investigating the crypts ourselves, it'll be obvious who the family is by the family name on the crypts.
Make a
Somebody give this
per-
girl a Sherlock
make
Holmes
us
point.
make us persuasion check with advantage.
that was awesome.
Yep.
Yeah. Somebody's really good at investigation.
So 7
With advantage.
Advantage.
with advantage. Okay.
Yeah. It's a
So
roll
what
again.
was that? Persuasion?
Roll again.
Yeah, persuasion.
9. Okay. Well, persuasion. 16.
Ermiciels. The Ermiciel family have been particularly stricken. Yes, you are quite correct, Ember. It would become very obvious to anybody with a sharp eye who was
Now, last question before we go. Is the family full of cooks? Is the family... do they own a business of a kind?
They probably own half of this city.
Okay. Alright, thank you.
Yeah.
I think we're good to begin. Would you like us back at a reasonable time, or would you like us early? The other half of us is putting on a show.
I will be here till late. I will be working by candle until I get the last of these people out of my cells. I pray that things are peaceful and the guards don't bring any more in. And I will be here shortly before sunrise to begin again. So at your earliest, I can, preferably the earlier the better.
Very good. Armaeus.
Is he behind the rock again?
I don't know. He tends to walk away and poop sometimes. Armaeus, do you have any questions for Eli regarding these bodies in the crypt?
No. Just lead the way. I have not been paying attention.
Have you been daydreaming again about your hamster?
Why should I daydream when he's always with me?
It's so romantic.
I look upon his fuzzy face and I just feel okay.
Little fuzzy feeling inside your butt.
And I pet him. And I say, I'll remember your name one day.
Meritos. His name is Meritos.
Kind of like you're marrying when you toss him.
Whose name's Meritos? Oh, the hamster. Sorry.
Get it tattooed on your hand.
Meritos.
What am I tossing?
Alright, Eli, we'll see you in the morning.
Good evening to you. And so, again, make your way back out, make your way back down. Again, it's now, excuse me, and having done all this, you making your way through the streets, they're starting to thin out a little bit. You see people lighting lamps outside of certain places as you pass by a couple more inns. You see, as you're making your way back to the Roaring Griffin, you do see the Tankard of Eels on your way. You see the Barrelstone Inn. You pass by Morning Mist Hall. It has the symbol of Lathander outside of it. It appears to be a temple to Lathander. And off in the distance, down a street closer towards, as you're making your way back, you see Lucklist Hall, which appears to be a shrine to Timora. As you finally make your way back, the front of the Roaring Griffin, as you enter the foyer, is now bustling. The people looking like they're some who look like sailors, but people have gotten cleaned up in this more civilized part of the evening. Even the people who have the weather-worn faces of sailors have put on finer clothes for the evening as they begin seating people for dinner.
Aaron, one more question before I have my
And
performance
she's escorting people to their tables, and it's like, yes, Miss I, what can I do for you?
When I do my performance, it seems like it's going to be a quite busy night for you. Is there any advertisement you would like me to say?
Bar specials.
We got 2-for-1 rum buckets, buddy.
Special meat dishes, any special drinks, any that we can advertise for you.
Well, I mean, our chef will come out and announce what the meal is for the evening.
Can I speak to your chef now?
A moment. He's probably making final preparations.
Can I just go back there and ask him?
Oh, no. No. Oh, no, we can't have anyone in the kitchen, so Raphael is very particular about the way his kitchens are run.
Okay, well, Raphael, have him come to me and I will do an advertisement for whatever special he needs to sell tonight.
Very, very good. And she's going back and seating people, and they're setting, people are running about setting bottles of wine on the tables and goblets, and they're bringing out pitchers of different drink. And the smells coming from the kitchen are unlike anything that you've smelled before.
One more thing, Aaron. May I have the tallest drink of ale I can get?
Common ale? Yes, I'll send one of the staff over immediately with it.
Thank you.
She goes out. It only takes about 3 or 4 minutes before somebody comes over with a small tankard and sets it down.
This is the biggest one you have?
Ah!
It's very fine ale.
She chugs it all.
Okay.
Can I have another one?
Little did you know it's high gravity.
Yeah, hey, I've noticed that in my experience, most master chefs in these places get highly offended if anyone else asks them to announce the meal for the evening. They like to announce it themselves because it's a grandiose thing they do. And,
well, I was just
I
going
know
to
you
ask him.
I know you want to get naked and do all that shit, but the chef feels like he's the most important person here. In all places like this.
I was only going to
I know,
speak to him.
but I've just noticed in my travels that most chefs are very adamant about announcing the meal themselves and cutting the first slice of meat to pass out. And
Do you think these hands are going to slice the meat?
Well, they're gonna be touching some kind of
they're
meat.
going to be touching some meat tonight. I know that.
Only for a high price.
Well, what's a high price?
Too expensive for you, Jack.
Jack's got a lot of money in his bank account.
A few musicians have made their way up to the stage, and they've already begun to play. It's like everybody's getting seated for dinner. There's one with a lute, a lyre, and a small pipe. They begin playing some light music, some like background music that's very. It's not like the folk songs that you've heard in the countryside before.
More classical.
But yeah, something a little bit more classical and not
Right
quite as raucous as you've heard in some of the other rougher pubs and bars.
I start kind of warming up, singing you the cup song.
You open that.
Got my ticket for the long way round. I don't know.
No, work the shack a little bit.
I'm just
I
warming
love
up.
that you do that.
This is not where I'm gonna end up.
Okay.
Does Salty Eye, for the first time she's been there, does it seem really busy? Like, does the staff seem to be kind of overwhelmed?
Make a perception check.
Six.
6?
Yeah.
They look like they are. They look like they are moving pretty efficiently. Like this is the routine for them.
Okay.
This place seems as if it's pretty popular. The staff is doing their jobs very well.
Awesome.
And what time is it?
It's now getting close to 6 o'clock. It is like as a matter of fact, as you begin wondering what time it is, you hear ding 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 as the ringing of a bell, and a man steps out of the kitchens and with a beautifully made handmade shirt with a rose in his sticking out of his pocket, and a long graceful white apron, his hair slicked back, and a very large mustache that hangs off the sides. So good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome once again to the Roaring Griffin. Why they haven't changed the name of this place to Raphael's yet is beyond me. And everybody laughs. Tonight's dinner will be 6 courses featuring some of my signature pieces, and the fresh sauces will feature a fine boar's sausage that is personally stewed by myself with herbs from the countryside for the past 2 days. Everyone, enjoy yourselves. Drink. Dinner begins in 5 minutes. And everybody gives their round of applause, and he gives a big bow and heads back to the kitchen. As the customers begin every table and chair in this large dining room. There's probably 125 people in here now.
Awesome. I look over at Salty Eye. Think we should start at the highlight of the night, when everybody has their food on their table.
And make a quick perception check.
For both all of us?
Actually,
We're not there yet.
you. No, you guys have made it back.
20.
You're back. You're in
Not natural.
20.
Yeah.
There's actually back towards the front where the people, because where you guys have come in, there's actually some clamoring. There's like people that want to get in. It's like, what do you mean you don't have room for me? I eat here all the time. It is a full house. There are people that are kind of upset that they can't get in.
Nice.
Ooh, who wants to start a riot?
Who would start around?
I punch the first dude.
Is there a moment I can talk to the band that's playing before they start actually doing the...
You can talk to whoever you want.
Okay, so I walk up to the person that's part of the band.
Okay.
The normal...
A lute, a lyre, and a pipist.
Okay, I want to talk to the lutist.
Okay, as he's sitting here with his legs crossed, he's singing.
Hi, I'm Salty Eye. I'm going to be the entertainment.
Erin told me about you.
Ah, what did she tell you?
That I should sit directly behind you.
I mean, she's not wrong. So I'm going to be the main entertainment for tonight. I just need to let you know what I need you to do when I do certain moves. Do you understand?
And what is it you would like us to do?
Well, when my friend Jack here starts to sing, I just need you to follow the notes with his voice. That's pretty much it.
We're all seasoned professionals.
So you guys can match pitch with me?
And
There's nothing we cannot achieve musically.
I like these guys.
I just want you to be warned. Once I get naked, I don't want you to be distracted either.
I'm sorry, what were you saying?
I just want you to make sure that you won't be distracted when I'm naked.
I assure you, ma'am, you will receive the utmost professionalism from us.
Okay. I will give you a fourth of the money and tips if you do not fail.
I beg your pardon?
I'll give you a fourth of the tips I make.
Oh, no. You're stepping onto our stage.
Oh, but you must not know who I am.
You are correct.
You will receive what I give you.
I step in the middle of this, and I'm like, clearly we all have big egos here, and I understand that. We could all come to some kind of agreement to split the money equally, as it were, giving you 10% more than what we would normally get.
Well, and I'm step out.
We've only done this
I
once.
morph into
This is
this
tonight.
real beautiful blonde-headed
I
woman,
don't know that.
and I come out and I say,
Get
"Well,
a
since I'm
regular
so sultry, I think I should get half."
Festamon, that's not how this works.
Hey, my name is Betty.
Wait, have you transformed it?
I feel like
Oh,
this
okay.
is how fights
You
in
have?
the locker room start.
Wait, you have
Fights on the stage are
transformed
much
into
worse.
a beautiful.
I'm beautiful blonde.
Okay, he's a beautiful blonde now.
Okay, the Ludus looks like he's in charge.
Is the only one that you've been talking to. The other two are still playing.
Okay, well,
There's a woman with a lyre who's just like smirking gently as she's playing along with the lute and the pipe, and the pipe is just kind of like she's turned, so she's kind of facing the other direction.
my good man, what do you say to 60-40, your favor?
You are generous with our money.
It's their stage.
I
Well,
don't
so what?
care. I am the main performer.
They're here every night. We are stepping on their stage.
Yeah.
It is
They're
a
here
true
every
tradition.
night. But is there a beautiful duo of women here?
Are we there? Like, are we
I
all
think
together?
we're kinda like-
Wait, I see.
By this time, because you do have rooms here, you do have seats reserved, and they've shown you to your tables. You're on the second row back from the stage, so you can see this going on. Make a perception check.
I'm just saying, 40% of 1,000 is
17
still
or
400 gold.
18.
Yeah.
You know their voices well enough and you can tell what they're talking about.
Salty seems very annoyed at Jack.
I'm going to get up out of my chair and walk up to Salty Eye and Jack and just, guys, look. Even if you're not the main performance, they don't need to know that. You make it your main performance. You are the show.
Exactly, my good man.
Show
is why we
them
don't
how
give
wrong
them-
they let them believe what they want. They'll find out who the real show is.
Well, I say 50-50.
60-40.
50-50. It's fair.
If I can talk them into 50-50, I don't mind. I mean, I would love for us to make more money, but they have a point.
I say 50-50.
My good man, how 50-50 sound?
Salty Eyes just glaring him down.
See. If we do 100% more than we normally make in tips, then I'll do 60-40 in your favor.
Do you
Deal.
think- There we go.
So when I turn
So-
from my chair, do I see like the group of people complaining to come in?
Oh yeah, absolutely. You can hear it. They're kind of making a stink back by the door at the other end of the room behind
I'll
you.
go up to the door and I'll ask, what's going on right now?
It's just a minor thing. Raphael he's come up with a new concoction tonight, and well, it's in honor of the breaking. It's tonight. Tonight is the first night of the breaking.
Of the breaking? Is that the festival that goes on?
Yes, because the ice is finally broken in our harbor. But Raphael,
Breaking Bad.
The thing is, I feel like with all this fuss and all these people wanting to be festive out the door, it's going to ruin my meal, and it's going to ruin everyone else's meal. If they're complaining so much, why not just let them in for some mead? They can smell the aromas, they can enjoy everything else.
that's what we are attempting to do. They just didn't want to be at the second sitting. Everyone wants to be at a premiere of Raphael's newest dishes.
There's multiple sittings tonight.
Yeah, just
Well, why don't
First
you have
dinner
people
sitting
wait?
is at 6, second is at 8, third is at 10.
Why don't you have people just wait at the bar until
That's what we're attempting to do. They're just
my work's done?
that's what they're attempting to do. The tavern is getting full as well.
Wow.
I agree with you. So by this time, it's like some of the people have overheard your conversation with them, and like some people are actually started grumbling, and they were like, they're realizing that they've realized they're making a bigger deal out of this than and people have started. They're moved off into the bar area away from the main dining hall where they're starting to take their bottles of wine.
I know, my dear. I come up as Betty. Why don't you give them your seat?
All of them?
Well, you and those other miscreants you're with, why don't you give them their seat, and they'll be happy, and everybody be happy, because, we're going to be here for all the shows, so it doesn't matter. Why don't you offer, then they'll make goodwill.
What spell are you using, by the way?
Persuasion.
No. Persuasion to change into a female?
No, I've used morph. I morphed into
polymorphed into a woman.
That's what I do.
Disguise, whatever you call it.
Disguise self.
Yeah, disguise self. Yes.
Okay.
And I'm so
I'm about to say
I look so good I'm scaring my own self.
Okay.
I'm going to play with my own self now.
I'm gonna find the inner workings of the women now, yeah!
It's like, oh, best of mine. Betty, you're so beautiful.
I'm so disturbed.
When there's a moment,
Destamon getting in touch with his feminine side.
when there's a moment and there's, I want to make my way around to everybody at some point. I don't know what you look like, but first to Armaeus and say, Armaeus, there's a off chance that this food could not be what I think it is. Take your time, look at the meat before you eat it. I think it could be cadavers.
Cadaverific?
I'm picturing a pointy
Actually,
pig
for a lizard, it would actually be easier to say cadavers than cadavers.
I think it could be. I think it could be dead people. The dead people missing.
Oh.
It could be.
Well, I have a lot of experience with dead people, so I think I would know.
The famine.
Okay, I'll make sure to take a close look. I'll wait for my meal to come out.
And that's the message I want to spread one by one.
Even to me?
It could be.
It
could be human meat.
And when you speak to me, should we try to coax everybody into being in the area so we can talk to everybody, or should we just say our graces and sit down?
It probably makes more sense to just blend in.
All right.
Yeah.
I go
What
and I
time
sit
is it
back
now?
down waiting for food.
Is it showtime yet?
Your first course. And you saw look over and Raphael standing in the doorway to the kitchen. The exotic cheeses, a selection of goat and griffin cheese, and they put little plates of cheeses in front of everybody's table, and in front of yours as well.
Is it
and
melted?
people begin there's cheese, just little slices of cheese with these really delicate looking crackers, and they've got a sprig of some sort of herb on the side of it.
Excellent.
But the presentation is absolutely gorgeous as they sit around and people begin delighting and nibbling on the cheese and stuff. And the band is picking up their pace a little bit, and they move on into the next course, which is a really hearty soup that's got these little small meatballs in it, and something that's kind of like
Toenails?
wet bread that you haven't experienced before. They're kind of they're shaped almost like wagon wheels that are floating in the soup as the people are just.
I would like to take a meatball out
Okay.
and kind of chop it up into pieces. I want to look at the texture of the meat.
Okay.
Does it just appear to be ground?
Make a perception check.
Anything?
Appear to be ground anything.
I
know.
texture of the meat. I'm looking to see if it's stringy or if it's out of place. 18.
18. As you get inspecting it, you can. There's something. It's incredibly. The meat is incredibly aromatic. There's the smell of tomatoes and herbs that you haven't, but as far as the meat itself, it looks as though it was freshly ground and nothing that seems terribly unusual. I mean, aside from the fact that it's ground up and put back together, I mean, you're not used to meat like that. You're used to meat that's
Slab meat.
slabs of meat.
Ivan, when the
Having eaten everything from boar to dinosaur.
And spider.
Huh?
And spider.
Spider, yes. even giant spider. All manner of creature from the sea. You've never seen meat ground up and put back together like this before.
This is very suspicious.
Ivan, when the performance starts, would you? I look around, make sure no one's listening. Would you like me to either disguise myself or something and go into the kitchen and actually investigate?
If you can do that very carefully. I'll nibble on the meat.
Yeah, so it's
Might as well eat it.
fucking amazing. It's delicious. It's got almost a velvety finish to it on the sides of your tongue. As these rich herbs and it's like as opposed to the pocket bacon that you're used to chewing and the smoked meats that you eat on the trail. All these tough foods that are. This is just. It's almost like nothing to chew it. It's so delicate and light.
Melts in your mouth, buddy.
Jack,
Fair enough.
are you almost ready?
I'm born ready.
And now that you've all had a chance to enjoy the first two courses, your main course for this evening, based on my invention last month, the rolled bread that some have so named spaghetti, I bring you a calzone, and they bring out these big dough balls.
That is rolled bread.
And as he says that, Salty Eye after he's done talking, Salty Eye taps on, or I guess there's no microphones, but she's like, "Hello!"
And they begin bringing out these pewter plates, and they're setting them down, and people are beginning to tear these big pieces of bread open, and inside this melted cheese and sauce and bits of pork sausage, as promised earlier, begin oozing out and down people's hands, and they're like, "Whoa, whoa!" and they're delighted and begin eating hungrily as they enjoy Chef Raphael's latest invention in cuisine.
Nice.
And I
Excellent.
hello! Welcome to the Roaring Griffin!
And people are like,
As she does that, I will minor illusion her voice to be a little more melodic and inviting sexually. This way it's almost magical to everybody's ears.
Oh, okay, let me... Hello.
While also amplifying it.
Can't you talk to a megaphone or something?
That's what I'm doing magically for her.
magically amplifying her voice.
Oh.
Welcome to
So she
the
sounds
Roaring
sexy when she
Griffin!
Yep.
And as everybody's... Yes, there's a few people that are just so engrossed they're just not paying attention at all, but like in the first 4 or 5 rows, every head turns in your direction.
My name is Saliana, and I am performing for you, with Jack and the regular band.
Wave to the band. Alright.
Enjoy your meals, and enjoy the show. And she starts dancing.
Like, alright boys, follow my rhythm. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I start singing very beautifully, you know, because that's something that I can actually fucking do. So in the band, I guess
He wrote his backstory
That's the monster dancing!
after he was introduced to the party.
I
So
did, sorry.
apparently he changed canon on us.
I always thought I couldn't play an instrument.
I thought it was That he couldn't sing.
That was it originally, but he changed it. But he changed. He came up with his backstory after he was introduced. So apparently, it was his music playing, not his voice that changed.
Well, does that upset anybody?
No.
Oh, no, we don't care. It's just,
All right.
No, but
You know.
it's
Just make
you got
part
thrown
of
to
the
prison because of your voice.
that part of the story. That part of the story got changed a little bit. It's no big deal.
All right.
So
So Salty Eye starts dancing with her hips, like kind of like a belly dancer at first, with her armor on.
While the whole time, there's going to be little sparkles floating around her, and Vestamon will... Betty, I'm sorry, Betty. Betty, are you back up dancing?
Yes, I'm.
All right.
I'm
Sparkles coming down on everybody, you know, as the singing and the band goes down.
And I'm like, rubbing your ass and your shoulders, like
I move slightly away. I'm like, back up over there. Back up, dance over there.
I gotta get the crowd into it, buddy.
You let me know when you start taking off clothes, 'cause I got
I will.
something planned for that. All right. Are you gonna be taking off clothes
She's just
Oh no,
shaking her hips
No.
and
I'm just
shaking her belly
gonna have
like a belly dancer.
All right.
While
as
they're,
Jack sings.
while they're distracting and dazzling the audience, hopefully. I look around. Is there anyone I could possibly minor image myself to look as, like waitresses coming in and out?
oh yeah, there's tons of them. There's all kinds of staff that are running back and forth from the kitchen.
Actually,
This is a
Could, if I
minor
excuse myself-
illusion yourself to look like someone. That's disguise self.
That's just I can't do that with
Minor illusion. I
thought I can like minor illusion a hat or like an outfit or something, or like minor illusion myself to look like someone else.
Okay, you disguise self is to change your entire appearance, but if
Yeah,
you wanted
but
to
if they
minor
touched
illusion,
me-
if you wanted to minor illusion your clothes to look like part of the waitstaff or something, you can do that.
Could I change my face to some like not
That's
maybe
more of
not
a-
their faces, but like a face that I imagine.
I want to see what happens, so yes. I want to see where this goes.
So I excuse myself and I go into a private area, perhaps a restroom, and I do just that.
Okay, so as you make your way off to where you would, where the restrooms would be, you make your way into like this, as the only part of the Roaring Griffin Inn that you've seen that's it's just like basically an outhouse inside it's as soon as you step in there, you like gag a couple of times because the smell coming up out of the hole in the floor. There's like a small wooden thing that you can
sort of like
sit on, and you see
Yeah.
why the canals smell so bad. And it's like it goes straight from the buildings into the sewer, and it's backing up into this one small room.
Okay, well,
Sweet.
I
So-
change myself to look like one of the wait staff,
Okay.
and I head straight into the kitchen.
Okay.
While Salty Eye's performing, can she see into the audience and see if anyone's really engaged and really enjoying the show?
Make a perception check.
Armaeus.
What's up?
Oh, hold on. I'm doing that again. Oh, that's a 20. Not 20.
Jeez! Wow, you rolled dice like that like arced up over your head, and she rolls. Wow. Despite the small lights that are in your face, there's like they've got small candles burning around the edge of the stage, and like these little copper reflective domes that are so to illuminate the stage area. Despite this little bit of brightness, you're able to step forward and peer through the light and see the faces. And there's like the front rows, the front 4 rows are just like completely, just like they're kind of enraptured.
Alright. I'm going to pull the string on my armor and tell Jack, or before I do that, I'm going to tell Jack it's time. And I'm going to grab the quick release on my armor and pull it.
As soon as she does that, I hope my timing is correct, and I snap my fingers, and I'm gonna minor illusion a flaming bikini. Like it's just on fire on her boobs and on fire on her crotch. That's it.
Like tassels.
Fire crotch.
Like they're just blazing.
Excellent.
They're just blazing.
And I start to dance very erotically.
So as your nether regions and your breasts appear to burst into flames, you hear people go, and it's like several cheesy gasps from the audience.
Cheesy guess.
I do a full circle and shake my touche.
Okay.
Can I?
The smell of tomatoes and cheese grows more intense.
All right.
Alright.
Have we moved on to the second song by this point?
Huh?
Have we moved on to the second song by this point, or are we just still in the first song?
What do you mean the first song?
I'm DJ. I think 3 song sets, man.
Again, baked bread, garlic, tomatoes, cheese. The smell becomes almost overwhelming as you hear screams from the bar area.
Screams.
What, from the bar?
I look over at the bar.
I'm standing up looking.
I'm in the kitchen.
Still singing. Nothing's gonna break me.
Nothing's gonna break me. I'm
The
just.
show must go on.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Suddenly come flying from the door 2 bodies of well-dressed individuals, a man and a woman, who come flying into the dining room, hitting a couple of diners in the back and spilling across the table. More screams, confusion. People begin standing up, some with their calzones in their hand, and they're like, "What's going on?" Raphael hears this from the kitchen. He looks up. And it's like, "Go see who's causing a disturbance in my dining room." That's what you see.
That's what I see?
That's what you see in the dining room. I mean, in the kitchens where you just snuck into.
I look distressed and I say, "Oh, I'm sorry, sir. Someone sent me back because they were complaining about their calzones. They wanted to see you. I didn't realize they would cause such a fuss."
Go tell Aaron to get them out of here. And he turns back around as the clatter grows more loud. You look back towards the door, the direction that the bodies had come. A 6 foot tall creature walks in.
Fucking shorty.
6 foot tall creature.
Yeah.
Appears to be roughly humanoid.
Is he the one that
You
threw
don't
the
have your
bodies in
armor
there?
on.
We don't know.
That's fine.
Smears of red all over it.
I continue to sing, but I can see this from the stage, correct?
I feel like you have
And
the
can
best
I,
view.
as I'm dancing, can I see?
Make your perception checks again.
And that's 20 again.
You two can definitely see it
Okay.
from your position.
I got another nat 20.
Okay. Yes, you see.
Hey.
I get a 20, not natural.
Okay.
14.
Yes. You all see this as this creature comes in, kind of it's different from a normal human, but just and just begins and attacking people at the tables as it begins making its way through the dining room, followed by 2 more.
I immediately stand up and start dashing in the direction.
It's game time, yeah.
Yeah.
I during my song I sing Tasha's Hideous Laughter to it.
Make a perception check.
Mm-hmm.
18.
18.
Yeah.
They look strangely like the calzone that you were previously eating.
What?
What?
We have calzone monsters?
What? They what?
They look strangely like the calzone that you were previously
They're
eating.
delicious and they have to die. Start charging.
What are you talking about? These monsters look like calzones? What?
They look roughly like the calzones that you were previously eating. They have red smears down them, which with your high perception check would look suspiciously like tomato sauce.
But she
And
didn't
they-
eat anything.
Huh?
She didn't eat anything.
No.
Can I?
But you saw the calzones being served, and you heard the announcement.
So
I'm racking my brain.
hold on. So just
That don't
to
make sense.
clarify. So
Wait.
we heard clamoring. The bodies came in.
Yes.
The bodies look like calzones, or
No,
the attackers look like
the
calzones.
things coming in, the attackers look.
And they're just swinging in.
They look
And
like
they're
dough
just-
balls.
With their calzone arms.
And I'm like,
I'm
Okay,
trying,
so
for the sake
apparently
of my
we've got somebody's
imagination.
babies in here.
For the sake of management,
They look like humanoid calzones.
the torso is the calzone with legs.
with more calzones attached to it, and there's tomato straights, and it looks like they've got
Now,
a finely
when they-
baked crust.
Okay.
When they open their calzone mouth, is it all cheese? Just like dripping down?
It's like Pizza Hut.
As one of them is attacking,
Do they have dough
and
here?
bodies are going. You see this. No, as the mouth opens,
cheesy?
and it goes, and it leans in to bite one of the people that it's attacked. It's just slammed its crusty arms. You see that drips of tomato sauce and cheese.
Can I throw
Hit the floor.
Can I throw some Pepto-Bismol on it and dissolve it?
Just for Ivan's gonna go ahead and stand up and activate the whip. But
Okay.
Can I look to see? Does this appear to be some kind of a performance or a gag or anything like that? Or
Make a perception check.
Do they look like costumes? Is what I'm asking.
Scooby-Doo.
9.
9.
Big thick 9.
No.
9.
That you see bodies. You see bodies flying and customers being attacked.
Sweet.
All right.
Can I jump? I'm
doing
on
this.
stage something right there. Can I cast banishment on that first one that's coming in?
Absolutely.
That's part of the performance. Hey, school, skip
Still singing without even breaking stride.
Attaboy.
Salty eyes
The
still
show must go on.
just kind of like, what the fuck?
As you cast banishment on the first one, as it's big cheesy tomatoey mouth begins to open and about to bite down on one of the patrons as they're screaming, it suddenly is gone, and the two more behind it make their way into the room.
How far from us?
They're the other end of the hall. They're about 60 feet away. At the other end of this dining hall, with it's full of people. So running across this room will be considered difficult terrain
I'm
because.
gonna start making my way through.
Okay.
Are we on initiative or can we just?
And when you use banishment, the disguise self dropped, so you're now standing there as Vestamon on stage behind a naked Misty Eye, who's gyrating with her flaming boobs.
Oh my God! And all I've got on is my
Salty eye?
G-string.
Salty
Oh
eye.
my God!
Did I see Misty Eye again?
Yes, you did.
I look over at
I meant to write
Vestamon.
that in big letters right here.
I look over at Vestamon and I start dancing with him, kind of to keep the show going.
Yeah, I'm swaying with her, you know.
Okay.
I take a pause. I'm
And
like,
since you did such a good,
"Stage."
since you did a good job of teaching him the moves earlier, he's like swaying with you, just like.
And I'm like, you need to get off the stage.
Hey, I'm gone, lady.
Okay, so again,
Okay, so since I dashed through, I want to take a shot at the first calzone I see whenever I get there.
Okay.
So just making a note of that.
Okay.
I've been wanting to say that for like ever.
Out of the first calzone. Damn.
That's not the first giant calzone I see.
okay, the first one was gone. The second one, the second one has now reached more of, and he just two big slams, and yeah, and two more people go flying, and one of them, as they're falling backwards, their calzone goes flying one way, and their glass that they have in their other goes the other.
And as I'm advancing, this appears to be real violence, right?
I mean, you can't. If it's performance, you can't tell it from. You can't tell it from real violence. This looks like real violence to you.
I'm readying an action to
Okay.
attack the as soon as I get within 10 feet of one.
Okay. Okay. So it's okay, and so they advance further into the room. You dashing, you activating, and both of you moving are able to meet right towards the edge of the room. Okay. Now that you have met each other, roll initiative.
Sweet.
Can I cast Tasha
Nice.
City's Laughter while I'm singing, seeing as how it's a verbal component?
You'd have to stop your song to
Well, I mean, yeah, but
give in.
Yeah, can I do that? Sing it while I'm
Well,
singing?
the first thing you need to do is roll initiative.
Okay, we're doing.
We're doing initiative now.
Is
Okay.
Salty Eye an initiative, or is she still dancing?
That's up to you. I mean, if you want to just keep dancing while everybody fights, you can do that. You're more than welcome to.
All right, 19.
can I roll initiative and keep dancing? But with
Yeah,
my,
absolutely.
With my
Yeah.
Choose to.
I got
That's what I'm
seven.
doing.
With my bow and
I'm in
arrow?
initiative, but I'm still singing.
Okay.
Okay.
20 to 25.
I got 26.
Did you really?
Yes.
Nice.
Oh shit! What the fuck did you roll?
Oh, I got a 25.
Plus
I'm
seven.
sorry.
Added my dex.
I got-
plus
Okay.
proficiency to it, so
I
my,
got
my dex
22.
is insane.
Yeah. Same here.
Oh, I got 20.
20 to 25. Well, I guess I can't talk.
Yeah, right.
He hasn't gotten my number yet.
Okay. Okay. And then
14.
14. And what'd you roll for initiative?
Oh, I didn't.
Okay.
I thought I was still in the kitchen.
Oh, that's right. You are in the kitchen.
I'm still trying to wrap
I
my
rolled
head
a
around
20.
these giant calzones.
Okay.
Salty Eye is confused, but is ready for action.
Okay. So, Armaeus, you're up first. What do you do?
Pop a cap.
Okay. So you're gonna shoot the calzone.
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot the calzone. Cool. I roll up right in that fucker's face and then just like point blank, just bam.
Okay.
Can't
Wait a
to
minute.
do the explanation
Hold a
on this one.
Roll up right in his face and
Shoot. The
okay.
gun. Shoot his calzone.
Are those
bit.
ranged attacks?
Technically, yeah.
Technically, any ranged attack that's within 5 feet is done with disadvantage.
Really?
Yep, any ranged attack that's done within 5 feet.
That's crazy.
So
I back up.
so you back up 5 feet to make sure that you've got the.
Cool. That is
Because think about it. I mean, honestly, your arms are 5 feet long because it's like your reach.
I'm a big motherfucker.
Yeah, 'cause you're
that's gonna be a 22 to hit.
22 to hit definitely hits.
Gotta show him that gung fu, dude.
Gung fu.
Like Wesley Snipes does in all the Blade series.
Now I'm thinking like equilibrium. Like,
Yeah, kind of like that.
For 6 damage.
For 6 damage.
Yeah. Bonus action reload. Use my other gun.
Okay.
Jesus Christ. 11 to hit.
3.
There should be a feat called Gun Expert.
unless these calzones are extra toasty.
Damn these cozy or toasty cows.
Or they have extra tomato.
Where's the fire lady when we
Cozy
meet her?
Calstones.
I'm in the kitchen where it should be. There's fire in the kitchen.
She's doing
please.
something very important.
11 just hits.
Wow.
Wow, these
They're pretty
These
doughy.
calzones are weak. I could go for a calzone right now.
for 7 damage.
For 7? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna look at a calzone the same way.
As your guns, you step back trying to find the perfect range, and finding it immediately, bullets just rip all the way through them, and there's cheesy splats.
All right, time to
Yeah.
action. Time to action surge.
Okay.
Okay, cool. And bonus, can't bonus action. I'm just gonna shoot. Again.
Action surge and to shoot again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Action
I'll
shirt.
take it.
Kick him in the nards.
25 to hit.
25 to hit.
Yes.
Damn,
I-
sir.
I
guess
Nice.
Don't fucking lie to me.
That'd be known as dragon.
For 12 damage.
Okay. 12 damage. That's 4 total. Okay.
I'm at an OP stage in my life.
Yeah.
Oh, it'll level itself out in a couple
Did
levels.
you kill it?
I don't know.
Nope, not yet.
Is it sauce all over the place?
There's tomato sauce coming out and cheese just splattered on the ceiling behind it.
Good.
But it's looks like it's still moving towards you.
Oh my god.
Cool.
Okay.
Well,
Jack, what are you doing?
I would like to, for flavor's sake, weave in Tasha's Hideous Laughter
Okay.
into my song and point it at the nearest one near Ivan. It has to pass a wisdom save of 14. Or it falls prone.
Wisdom?
Damn these calzones!
I don't know, I'm hoping they're intelligent enough to get my joke.
Oh, nice. Ah! I dropped it.
Really?
Yes.
Oh
I
shit!
did. By the way,
hi everyone.
Yes, hello everybody. Hey, Rock Punch ATL with a 57 viewer raid. Thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Hey,
Guys already got the shout out
We're
out there.
fighting
Guys,
calzones.
I hope you had a great stream. Thank you so much for the raid. We're in the middle of combat right now.
Okay,
Think of tense. We're fighting calzones. It makes sense in some worlds.
And I'm naked.
okay, so we are okay. So Tasha's hideous laughter does not seem to have any effect on this thing.
I'm like, oh.
So you start as you cast Tasha's hideous laughter at it, you feel the wave of energy extend from your voice, and this thing just keeps advancing. It's just like it moves. Your words move through it and seem to have no effect.
I'd like to kind of stop my song and be like, Ivan, they're obviously not intelligent.
They're made of cheese and dough.
I'd like to keep singing.
And I'm
Right?
Okay, Salty Eye, what are you doing? You gonna keep dancing for this
Well-
turn?
I'm going to yell out, "Look, Raphael has given you guys a great performance." She's kind of talking out her ass. "Go ahead, everyone near the calzones. Eat! Feast!"
That is it! Oh crap! Yes!
And I'm going to ready my bow and shoot my bow at the nearest
Where did you
calzone.
hide that thing?
Well, she had her armor on, but she also had her weapons on still.
Dancing with your weapons?
You removed all your armor and weapons.
Yeah, they're on the
You're
floor.
naked.
Okay, I'm going to just tell everyone to eat the calzones then.
But you can, all your stuff is right there. You can, as a bonus action, pick your stuff up, and you do have an eye, so
Okay.
you can. So
I'm going to pick up my short bow and fire at the closest calzone.
roll a hit.
I was just gonna say it was kind of hot if you're wearing that bow and nothing else. I only wear this bow to
Why is
bed.
tonight so ridiculous?
We're fighting fucking calzones.
I'm
You're the one that came up with the calzones, yeah.
So
Hey, you had 3 different places
I
you
got
could have picked
12
to
to
go.
hit.
This is y'all's fault. This is y'all's fault.
Guys, we would go to like calzones if we came to this particular area. Damn!
Hey, can I,
Okay, she's rolling to hit first. Let's see.
yeah.
12 to hit.
That actually hits, yes.
Okay.
So, roll your damage.
Sorry, 1 second. It keeps going on the corner. That is 7 to hit.
Okay, you're a rogue, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You should get it.
They're currently engaged with somebody else, so you do your sneak damage too.
sneak attack is for you 4d6. So
Damn!
so 6, and then roll that 4 more times.
Alright, I'm gonna do 2 at a time. 6,
That's 12.
and then another 6.
So what's that total?
18.
18.
Plus
Plus 1.
plus 1 for
19.
19.
19. So you're getting your arrow, and it just like sticks right into him and opens up a big gaping hole in this crusty exterior, and tomato sauce and cheese go. As the cheesy mouth opens, he's like, and drips hot cheese onto the cowering patrons in front of him.
Raphael's calzones are delicious!
can I cast persuasion to get them to eat the calzones?
On the whole crowd?
Yeah, on the crowd.
You need to
Cast
persuade an
attack and
entire
eat the
crowd.
calzones.
That,
You say
I
cast?
thought I did that.
that particular
She
thing is a
told
bard thing that's only a bard
them
glamour
to
thing.
she told them to eat the calzones on the caster station to get
Are
them
you
to
trying
do
to
it.
tell him to get off your territory?
No, I'm saying I'm not a bard of glamour, but that only spell that I know that can do that is a glamour bard.
You can do that?
No, I'm not a glamour bard.
Oh.
No.
But you're all glammed up, you know.
Can we just highlight?
Yeah, I don't think that's one of your. I don't think persuasion is a spell that you have.
Oh.
Is
Well, then-
persuasion even a spell?
Yeah, it's
It's
a
a
spell.
bard spell. It's not a wizard
Yeah.
spell.
Oh.
It's usually one-on-one though. One person
Yeah,
to
it's not a
person.
whole crowd. So, but
Yeah.
any other spells that you have that you?
Well,
I just fixed your glasses. Read them.
I like to turn into a giant rolling pin and squash it. Roll into a giant
Yes, yes.
rolling, you know.
Zach, does my effect of yelling out to eat the calzone affect anyone?
If Ivan picks up the giant rolling pin that he changes into, does that give him magical damage or does it give him extra dice?
Well, okay, can I cast Burning Hands, which is the first double spell to set the calazone aflame.
Now that sounds like a good idea. Let's try that.
Why do we find ourselves
Watch him burn the crust and they get like +2 AC.
Oh! This is epic.
It's like the bleed damage from the tomato sauce is like, you see?
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Because, I mean, you burn crust in a microwave, it's harder.
Okay. So Burning Hands.
Yeah.
Captain Crunch that shit.
Is that a ranged attack? You would know, Ember. Is that a
like
ranged
burning hands? Yeah.
Is
It's
it-
a cone. 25. It's either 15 or 25 feet. Hold on.
Oh god, there's gonna be crowd damage.
Uh-oh.
We will
At least
figure it out.
Ember isn't doing it.
Yeah, or else everyone would die.
Read what it says. I can't see. Burning Hands.
Each creature, nope. You just what you put forth. You don't have to make a ranged attack. Every creature in your cone needs to make a. Okay, Esteban, before you do your cone, you're at the other end of the room. You're about 30 feet away.
Mm-hmm.
The cone is 15 feet.
No,
So if you want to use your movement, because you've got movement, action, bonus action, if you want to use your movement to get there, do your cone, and you can do that.
I want to run.
Okay, so Restamon runs up to 15 feet, and let's see. All right, so we're gonna
burning
need
people alive.
one.
You're in the kitchen.
I look
I
so,
don't know.
I
That's what I'm
look so
asking.
cute running up in my G-string.
No, your disguise self failed. You.
I know, but I still just got on my G-string.
Oh, you actually put on a physical G-string.
He's got one ball on one side, one ball on the other side, dick flopping around.
Yeah, I mean it's just terrible.
Salty is still dancing with her bow.
I took off my clothes to morph into a woman, so you know.
Okay.
Got a naked old man running through the crowd with fire. Watch out, guys.
Okay, so Vestamon, his aging body, barely put together by his bikini and G-string, rushes through the crowd 15 feet and casts Burning Hands. And every single customer in the way, every customer in the cone, 12 of them, failed their deck saves. So there's a dozen customers on fire.
Oh fuck!
What you think was gonna happen?
I'm still dancing. Let's just enjoy the calzones, everyone.
Who can say
What a show! What a show!
The house is on fire.
Hey,
Do I have anything to
It's fine,
put
it's
the
fine.
people out with?
Zach, next time we're fighting calzone monsters with a map, are you gonna actually put calzones on the map?
That could be the
That
food
we
we
can
eat.
eat that are gooey and tomatoey.
But did it affect the calzones?
Hold on a second. Let's see. It failed. Okay, so now calzone. The okay. Okay. Roll your damage.
What was
3d6.
Huh? 3d6.
3d6.
So roll your green one 3 times. 3. 4. 5, 6.
6 total.
6 total.
Okay, so the calzone that had originally been shot by Armaeus is it's stumbling forward through the crowd. A dozen patrons suddenly had their dinner interrupted while reveling in Chef Raphael's newest creation, Vestamon. The Burning Hands spews forth as he staggers forward, as the calzone staggers forward, bursts into flames. Then his crust now on fire. Pockets of cheese beginning to burst through, and tomato sauce. As he appears he's taken a lot of damage, but he's still up.
The first one,
There's 2 left. Yes.
good God.
Can I, well, as a bonus action or a retreat action, can I take some wine and pour on the burning customers to put them out?
Why?
So as
If
a
you got
bonus
caught
action,
cold, that'd be a good way to put them out.
as a bonus action, Vestamon reaches over and grabs a bottle of wine from the table and just begins glug, 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 and we got these smoldering, screaming bodies as their lives begin to extinguish.
Not it.
We have a problem with splash damage in this group.
Ivan.
So
There's one that's staggering forward. What do you do?
so looking past the one directly in front of me, I can see another, correct?
Yes.
Okay, on that one, I'm gonna use my bonus action to cast Hex using my Blood Maledict.
Okay.
Give him disadvantage on dexterities checks.
Okay.
And then I'm going to attack the one directly in front of me with the whip. I want
Okay.
to try to bring it overhead so I don't hit anybody around me.
Okay.
And bring it straight ahead.
Okay.
Is that Blood Hunter thing?
Yeah.
Damn.
That's neat.
It is.
For 18 to hit.
18 to hit definitely hits.
And he is going to take...
A little bit OP group here. I love it.
Fuck you. He is going to
What are you
take
talking about? Nobody one-shotted a boss.
No, nobody here did that ever.
for
Got it.
12 points of slashing damage, 2 points of radiant damage.
So as you
Thanks for the
go
sense.
overhand, you step to the side, and then hex one, the other one right in front of you. You back up so your ranged attack, and giving it a quick underhanded strike to avoid anybody else. Your whip, and he rips apart, and cheese and tomato sauce, and it looks like other types of meat begin falling out and spilling and hitting the floor.
What were you really doing all week? I'm just curious. I'm just
He
kidding.
was eating delicious calzones, apparently.
Thinking. He was having Italian dinners all week.
I've been eating nothing but chicken breast and dry rice all week long.
Hey, Zach,
I've
don't...
been dreaming
Zach,
about calzones.
Don't lie to us. You've been eating calzones all week.
He went to an Italian buffet, damn it.
And he falls, and hits the ground with a cheesy splat. And,
Jesus.
and he looks like slowly deflating.
How far is the one from me that I hexed?
He's no more than 10 feet. He's actually within range of your whip.
He's getting it.
Okay.
I just want to say thank you for the 10 gifted subs.
Thank you.
Oh, wow. Yes. Thank you.
For
Big time.
a million. 23.
Definitely hits.
And he has hex damage. So that is 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 points slashing, 4 points radiant, and 2 points of necrotic.
So
Jeez.
as you're dragging your whip back through the cheese on the floor, the fallen cheese, another quick overhand
Fun.
strike, and your whip hits it in the head, and as the radiant damage goes into him, and light blows pieces of crust off,
It's
and
a
cheese
Voltron
begins spilling from it into tomato sauce as it begins to rip down, and he split, and the rest of him just crumbles to the ground in same fashion, with cheese, tomato sauce, and meat spilling all over the floor.
I'm surrounded by deliciousness!
Salty eye. Oops.
As Salty Eye punches the camera.
Salty eye just explodes and Raphael's cousins!
I need some-
Mine Griffin, the only place in town!
I need someone to clip the DM just doing like this in front of the fire. That would fucking epic.
I can make
The
that
best place for cousins is the Rowan
the other
Griffin.
one-
Come back and see
The other
me!
one that I banished.
tomorrow.
Does he come back?
As terrified screams, as people realize what has happened, there's burning bodies on the floor. You know, several burning, some that have been put out covered in wine now as well.
I would like to start singing songs
Salty's really
so
trying
everybody
to
falls
keep
asleep.
corners up here, okay?
Right, ready for the second shift? Hey, Salty Eye, you gonna dance to the
Rafi-
second shift?
We're good.
Raphael comes bursting out of the kitchen. What is going on here? Who is disturbing my dinner? I demand answers!
Your dinner's disturbing your fucking dinner! As I step on
Salty eye is just still trying to dance and act natural.
Okay, hang on. He's looking around angrily. Aaron is like, Raphael, I don't know. What's What's going on? Your diners were attacked, and right at that moment, the one that was banished, the full minute has passed, and he and begins again, appears right in front of Raphael, and grabs him by the face and begins to lift him up as his mouth opens. Predict at the top of the order. Armaeus, what are you doing?
Hey. Okay, so what's the situation looking like?
The first one that Vestamon banished. What?
You're in the kitchen.
I've been hearing stuff in the kitchen.
What did you find out in the kitchen?
I don't
You
know.
never said you did anything. If you want to do something, do it. What do you want?
I want to run and see if there's like human meat like the plant was, and then run out of the kitchen.
Yes.
So you're gonna follow before. Okay, is this before the other one ever appears? Okay.
It was during the point that like everyone started showing up, and I didn't know what was going on. So it was like someone was making a fuss about the calzones.
Okay,
I
so-
don't understand.
Okay, so the cows. So you have stepped back out. Okay, if you want to just go ahead and roll initiative right here.
All right.
Roll because I mean there has been furious fighting going on, and now before you can begin your investigation, the other one that was banished to another plane has suddenly reappeared in the dining room.
Okay. 7.
7. 7 plus.
0. 7.
My initiative is 0.
I have 0 initiative. I have no potential.
We'll still
find out
we'll have
anything?
plenty of time to investigate now.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, you've got all the time in the world.
Yeah.
You could find the dead bodies in the walk-in.
What'd you find out?
There's bodies.
Oh, there's dead bodies out here now. What the hell happened?
And we got live calzones.
Can you believe
It turns out we were the grave robbers all along.
Can you believe
That was another time warp thing.
the cheese
Alright,
and
so
Okay, so back to top of the order, please.
Armaeus.
Yeah. So, what's the situation looking like?
Looks like you're married, buddy.
There's two
Oh,
dead.
yeah.
There's two
Melted.
two cheesy enemies face down on the floor in puddles of tomato sauce and meat.
Pizza the Hut
Dead.
zone.
Are they alive?
They appear not to be moving anymore. Raphael has burst from the kitchen, demanding to know who has interrupted this dining hall. Who would dare?
Wait, but we're still in initiative.
Yeah.
And then another, the very first calzone that entered, that Vestamon banished, returns from another plane and scoops Raphael up by his face and appears as he's about to bite him with his cheesy
goodness.
orifice.
So is
And he is-
am I far away from this calzone now?
No,
Okay, he's right.
you're within 10 feet of him because he was the first one to come in, was banished, and the other moved into his place.
I'm gonna jump on its back and take a bite out of the top of its calzone.
Okay,
This cheesiness.
make a grapple attack.
Okay, cool. Looking pretty good.
Our man.
strength.
No, just 17.
17.
Yeah,
Okay.
just 17.
So 17 hits, so you're able to, and you jump onto his back and bite into his doughy surface and able to rip out some actually delicious bread and tomato sauce spills down the side of your face.
Sweet.
Yep.
In that case, I'm going to pull out my gun and I'm just going to shoot it now.
Delicious.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay.
Because I jump on its back and I take a huge bite of it and I take my gun out and shoot in the back of the head
Okay,
while I'm at it.
Okay. Roll with disadvantage.
13.
13 hits. Okay.
Sweet.
So while you're hanging onto its back,
For 9 damage.
okay.
Bonus action reload.
You shot his meatball off.
I picture that scene from John Wick when he's fighting the sumo wrestler and he shoots directly on like top of his head.
That's it. That's
Okay.
all. That's all I've got. Okay.
I'd say let's go ahead and get Ember into, because she would have seen the end of the combat because she did leave We didn't have her roll initiative, so let's go ahead and get Ember as your
I'm
hearing.
walking through the doors. I see dead bodies. I see monstrous calzones. I see my friend on the back. I go back into the kitchen.
This is too fucked up for me.
I can't handle these cheesiness.
This is too cheesy of a situation for me.
Oh yes.
You guys are handling it
There's
well.
way too much meat.
I'm just watching like the window of the kitchen.
Like if my friends can't handle a couple mutant calzones, then they're not my friends anymore.
Okay, Jack, what are you doing?
I'm gonna grab the crossbow off my back, take aim at the one that Armaeus is currently hanging on to.
Okay.
Don't shoot him.
No, I'm trying not to.
Okay, now there is a Raphael in between. He's
Raphael's
between half cover.
Oh, I'm sorry. I did not realize that. I would not like to do that.
You can use your movement to gain a better perspective because Raphael.
Okay, so
Raphael's here. Armaeus is on the other side of him. So if you want to use a little bit of your movement,
Yeah, cool.
Okay.
I'll strafe a little bit.
Okay, cool.
I got a that was a roll of a 3 plus 8, 9, 10. I got an 11.
11 hits.
Wow.
Just barely.
Okay, what's my damage on that? An 8. That's a 9 damage.
9. Okay.
Gonna shoot again. That's an 18 natural. So I guess that already
hits.
That is a 6 damage.
6.
And then my bonus action with crossbow expert is going to be to shoot again, which is 18 natural again. 5, 6, 7 damage.
Okay, so with Armaeus clinging onto the back of this wildly roaring thing as he's lifting this restaurateur in the air, getting ready to bite him, bam! His part of his cheesy brains blow out one side, and Ember comes out and says, "Yeah, fuck this." And as Jack looks over his shoulder and sees Ember disappear, and goes, and he takes a couple of side steps and. And as the arrows sink deep into his body,
He's crushed.
Saltia, he's still up.
Okay, I don't mean to backtrack this, but I meant to ask something when I took a bite out of that calzone.
What does it
What
taste
did it
like?
taste like?
It was quite delicious.
Okay,
It was
cool.
very, very good. Tomato sauce, and
I want to make sure there wasn't some sort of crazy illusion going on here.
Pepperoni.
Guys, I after I took my bite, I wanted to. I looked back at everybody. I said, "Guys, this is legit. This is actually happening.
So
It tastes like a
Saltia
calzone."
is still dancing and with her bow out, and she's kind of holding it, and she's like, "It's still alive." So she's going to ready for another shot towards the calzone and say, "See, the calzones are so good. Even they want to bite out of Raphael, the one who created it." And she's still trying to perform and make sure this is like not like a legit thing, so she can get paid.
Okay.
So she's trying to fool some people.
By the way,
She's
is
going
the
to
band still
shoot
playing too?
The band is left.
Titanic.
The band is left. They're
shit.
Yeah, it's my most of a lot of the patrons are like they're all
Gone.
afraid.
Oh
Like
shit.
they're trying desperately to leave.
That's
In
a-
that minute
that's
that
a-
you had I mean, it's like the hall is now just you guys, a few
Chaos.
patrons left, and yeah, it's just
Okay.
it's just madness as people are trying to stampede out.
Well, I have a 6 to hit.
I think you need to use somebody else's die.
Okay, so when as you're still to the audience who's fleeing in front of these doughy cheesy monsters, still trying to put on a show and pull forth an arrow and sails past and into the ceiling back behind.
Alrighty.
Vestamon, what would you like to do?
I'd like to run right up to the monster, jump between him and Raphael, grab him by the mouth, and shoot a ray of frost down his throat.
Ooh, okay.
Interesting.
He
So-
wants to cool the
Okay.
hot calzone.
It's only a couple of steps for you to run up and shove your hand in the mouth and let's see, ray of. By the way, hi Eden. She's watching.
Oh my God, be nice, people.
That's your grandson. We're not nice to him.
I know, but he's a little shit.
Okay.
Oh!
Make a ranged spell attack. Make a ranged spell attack, and you're within 5 feet, so make it with disadvantage.
Oh, so
Roll your black one. Twice. That's a nat 20.
Okay,
Roll again.
twice because you're rolling with disadvantage.
You take the
Oh,
lower
that's
2. That's a 17.
Okay,
All right.
still able to
it is.
hit.
What's
okay.
your ray of frost damage?
1d8.
1d8. So roll your yellow one. And add. Is there a modifier? There should be a modifier to that.
His spellcasting modifier.
Your spellcasting modifier is going to be a 5, so that's a 10.
10.
Yes.
So, as Vestamon runs up and shoves his hands in this thing's mouth as it's roaring and getting ready to take a bite out of Raphael, and he shoots a ray of frost. You see, like where the previous wounds had been from the arrows and the shot to the brain, where it's leaking tomato sauce and cheese out the side, out of its sides, and all of a sudden it's like the tomato sauce, and it stops flowing as it. Holding Raphael up in the air. And it topples over and hits the ground and shatters.
Leftovers.
Fatality.
Everybody here thinks it's weird that this calzone shattered.
Salty Eye just
Huh?
stops her dance and bows.
I missed
I
that.
pressed the digitized.
Thank you,
I'm sorry, I might have
everyone.
losing
There you go.
fireworks above her head.
you can always make a new somewhere where you and the calzone hit the floor.
Where were you when the calzone hit the floor?
Tips are appreciated. Tips
Everyone.
are appreciated.
What the fuck was that?
I've been around a lot of places. I've never seen any shit like that.
I'm gonna start digging my hand in the corpse in front of me, the calzone corpse, and I'm
teasing
looking
is-
for a skeleton. Does it have?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Is it was
Uh,
it originally a person?
Okay, you start digging in, and it's like there's handfuls of cheese and meat sauces. It's dripping through your fingers, and coming up empty.
Is Raphael still like he's alive,
Raphael,
right?
Raphael. He's on the floor. Oh,
I'm gonna run.
what is the meaning of this?
I'm gonna run up to him and grab him by his shirt collar and be like, "Exactly where the hell did you get these calzones?"
This whole. Sorry. Go ahead.
Say, hey, this is not my creation. I make the calzones that I feed in my. I don't know. I've never made a calzone this big.
You didn't rob a calzone family of their babies? Look, we're off the map here, sir. All right, we're off the map here. I'm just trying to go for any angle at this point.
Damn right, we're off of the map. You're talking a nonsense, a pure nonsense.
We just killed how many calzones out here?
Well, where did you get the meat for this calzone?
I get my meat from only the finest, naturally sustainable
Backhanded.
resource.
Where do you get it from?
Roll the hit.
Oh my god. Don't
That's an
roll.
18.
I like the way you said it. Roll a hit.
yeah.
It's like, since you're gonna be a dick about it.
Yeah, 18.
He's like,
Where do you get your meat? Don't give me this.
I get my meat from the most responsibly sourced, sustainable farms in the hills from around here. I don't. What do you want me to say?
I want you to say that you robbed calzone babies.
While they're doing that, Salty
Wait.
Eye is going to look around and see if anyone's actually tipping in the breast bowl.
The place is empty now. I mean, everybody has fled.
And half of them are on fire.
Salty Eye on her armor and
Dude.
just puts her eyes on Jack.
What do you want from me?
She walks over and slaps Jack backhanded.
Why are you hitting me?
Fucking rad.
What is? Yeah, I know. Like, what is going
She
on
looks
here?
she looks pissed.
You think I did this?
There's got to be a few coins in the bucket.
She backhands you and then looks at Raphael. Your calzones ruined my show.
Oh my God! What a
Is
diva!
it-
Is that what you're worried about?
Yes.
Okay, Okay, so I roll out of the kitchen.
Salty Eye has her eye patch up, her parrot's out.
She's scowling with a parrot.
One very intense eye.
What if we get everyone that can turn themselves and I get closer to him? Like Raphael. I start getting others closer to me. And we go to all the other restaurants dressed up as him and see who was surprised to see this man alive. I think this was an attack on him and his food. Because this town takes food very seriously.
Holy, that's pretty deep, and I'm gonna reach over and just rip a tablecloth off and start cleaning the cheese off my whip. That's
Okay.
that very well could be a thing.
I vote we all dress up as him, go into these restaurants, spit in their food.
Damn.
Already lit them on fire.
reactions.
We're not looking to create a kind of culinary mafia, but what we could be looking, that would be a cool campaign. But what we could be doing,
Someone has to...
I dug inside this one and I couldn't find anything. I couldn't find anything aside from
Okay,
cheese.
someone charmed some magic.
No, you didn't.
user.
You said you were looking for bones or a skeleton in particular.
Yeah, I mean just any kind of recognizable innards, essentially.
Some magic user
Oh,
turned
okay.
the skeleton.
You said bones.
Yes, I did.
Make an investigation check.
What do you remember?
Find
Ivan?
something, buddy.
What is that look in your eye?
-1, that's 10.
10? Okay. You find a ring.
Find a ring. Does it say in Tangwar one ring to rule them all around it?
Does it
Does it have a family crest?
if I
Does it have
clean some of the cheese off of it,
Does it have a pizza for an insert?
It does have what looks to be what would be a familial crest or standard.
anything stand, like the shape of it, does anything stand out in particular?
There's a dragon's head.
What didn't you guys say that people were against Raphael?
I
Armaeus,
think this was
Yes.
an attack on Raphael.
the one in front of you, start digging around, look for one of these or anything like it.
Salty Eye is still
What is that?
looking
It's
very
this.
It's a ring with a dragon's head on it,
She's
and it
very
looks to be a
confused why
familial
this
crest.
happened.
Okay, I'll go check, and I'm gonna start digging through the literal pounds of cheese.
So you're gonna start looking through the cheese and tomato sauce,
Yes.
and the meat that's all over the floor.
Yeah.
And you did, and there is make an investigation check.
Can I go to one that I froze and check on it?
Absolutely, go ahead and do your
phone?
investigation check.
I'm just looking around everybody moving for the cheese.
Salty Eye is going to go outside and
Ooh.
see if anyone's out there loitering or anything.
I got a 9.
9,
8.
8. Okay. You do find another piece of jewelry. It's a pendant.
What does it look like as I look closely at it?
It just looks like it's a piece. It's like a gold teardrop thing with a ruby in it, and
You think what I'm thinking of?
and you find a piece of cloth with a piece of metal riveted to it that has the same emblem that's on the one that Ivan has.
This is the cheesiest necromancer ever.
So Salty Eye goes outside and sees if there's anyone outside still, outside the tavern.
Okay, make your perception check as you head through the bar, head through the foyer, and back outside.
7.
7. There are several people that are gawkers, as a couple of people have come out. There's like they've tracked cheese through and out into through the foyer and out into the street, and tomato sauce.
She's going to yell at them, "Where is my coin?" She's going to.
But as you can see, the streets are actually now getting quite busy in the early evening because there's people beginning at the beginning of they're carrying around. There's people carrying around large banners with pictures of broken ice on it as musicians are wandering the street. As it looks like the festival of the breaking is.
Hey, Jack,
hanging
go
out
out and
here.
sing in the
Does she have
streets.
any
She can-
memory of the Festival of Breaking from her travels?
I'll make a history check.
That is 14.
14. You've heard of the breaking from other sailors. You have never experienced it because you've never been at this town. But it is something that you would have heard of. It's a pretty big deal for the sailors in this area, because the harbor in this area is finally free of its ice.
Can I persuade Jack to go out front with Salty Eye and sing, and she can dance out front and maybe make some of that coin back?
Start talking to him.
Yeah,
Jack,
I'm totally down.
why don't you go out front and sing and let her dance with the festival? People people that weren't here still in the festive mood, and just hold your hat out, put your hat out, and let her dance out in the street for the people. Let her make some of that coin back.
I'm gonna get out of this place. That was the most fucked up thing I've ever seen.
Quickly, before
I'm gonna help. Yeah, I'll sing for you. Hopefully, we'll make some.
Okay,
help us
so
make
you
some money.
come out and you see me all like, give me your money!
I'm like, no, there's a better way. There's a better way. Honey, I'll sing. You dance.
She
And
starts
then
dancing.
I start. I'm sorry. I keep saying presentation. I keep. I'm on losing my voice to be a little louder, a little more alluring. Come one, come all, see the lady from far. You know, something. Come watch her take her clothes off. Actually.
She has her armor on now.
I'm literally picturing the music video from Little Big. The "Give me your money."
Well, so what else is left in the restaurant? You're still in the restaurant? Or are you gone?
I just
Okay.
got
Yeah,
the
there's-
side.
Are you
There's
still in
the
the
two of you
restaurant?
are outside doing an impromptu performance. The four of
Trying
you
to
are
get money for
Yeah.
the company.
Okay.
I think whoever attacked with these pastry monsters, they were attacking our ravioli friend. So he needs to pretend he's dead for a little bit so they can attack the next person that they're ready to attack and not attack him again. Maybe we can narrow down the people.
And maybe they're the same people that are robbing the crypts.
I have a bit of an idea on that. I think we found some of the treasure that's been stolen. I think it's what's inside of these calzones is the trinkets and things taken from some of the bodies. I'm gonna walk up to Raphael. Is he still here?
He's still holding his face. He's looking like quite his pride is quite wounded from being slapped by this dandy.
Is he on the ground or
No,
is he
he's still standing. He's just standing there with a shot.
tactical
He looks very offended and affronted. He's just like he.
Raphael,
Yes.
first off, the meal was delicious. Thank you for what you've done.
Hey.
Second, wait. What can you tell me about this ring? The symbol on this ring. Who does this belong to?
And what about this one?
Yeah,
I saw in the jewel that I found.
That ring is that is the ring of my family.
Of your family.
Have you had someone
Or
in
by
your family
sales.
die?
And I believe that belongs to my great-grandmother. And she takes the pendant from you.
Is your great grandmother dead?
Of course.
Okay.
Is she buried in the crypts outside of town?
She was, as it dawns on him.
I'm afraid we need to take that back as evidence to present. So please, I know it's unfortunate.
Make persuasion check.
You will get this back.
19.
If it will help my grandmother's soul rest again.
Can I get Xenophon to heal the people I burnt?
That's called a resurrection.
I mean, they're not dead; they're just burnt. If she heals them,
No, they have commoner stats. They're dead.
they're dead.
They're dead.
Oh, well,
They're-
could
they're-
I
their bar-
could
their
I
bodies-
like take them out back and throw them in the dumpster or something so nobody will find them?
And everybody said, lawful good.
Okay.
Have
While
just-
Vestamon's standing around trying to figure out what's going on with the bodies that are now all over the dining room.
To hide his murder.
You guys are outside singing and doing your song. Let's go ahead. Each of you do a performance check.
Easy.
I'm saying girls, girls, girls.
16.
God damn it. 8. Fuck.
No one likes Motley Crue anymore.
They're loving her. They're not sure about you.
Yeah. So people are watching. They're like, hey, check her out, but they're doing it from a distance. Because Jack is.
I'm going to pull my
Jack's-
string again and get naked.
Okay.
Should be one of like your actions, really.
That's our bonus
Dispel,
action.
get
Naked.
naked.
Yeah, distraction.
Okay. So, again, your performance stood, but people are still quite attracted. But there's something about it that just seems to kind of be keeping them away.
I gotta sing a different song.
I'm going to start dancing away from Jack.
And the crowd just sort of like the Pied Piper as you start dancing away from Jack, and he's like, as he's girls, 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 as he's bellowing out the notes, and you start slowly serpentining away from him down there, like the Pied Piper. All the rats in the city that are out celebrating with their tankards of ale and mead begin following you down the road, down the street as you make your way up. And
I smell a gang rape coming on.
some begin tossing coins at you.
Can I, while they're outside doing that, can I look in the bucket on stage and see if anybody threw any coins in there that I might get for her?
Absolutely, yes. There's about 15 copper and 3 silver.
All right, I want to grab that up to be able to give it to her later on.
Okay. Over the course of the next, say, 15-20 minutes of dancing around, let's see. There's coin on the ground around you. You're able to get about 26 gold, 51 silver, and 67 copper.
It's a good night.
Yeah.
Not bad.
As the party atmosphere becomes supercharged around you for the next quarter hour.
And I'm still naked.
Yes.
Well, don't Jack get a few coins for
important
singing?
detail.
Don't they throw a few coins?
That's company
Cool.
money.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I was doing-
No, that is my money now. I'm
Oh
alone.
gosh. Look at the diva.
Come
Yeah,
on,
go ahead and
Jack.
start.
So-
I start singing Come On Ride the Train.
If I may roll, while thinking on the new information that my teammates have given me and knowing that the items found in the calzones were items of the dead, would I know from my experience of magic any spells or rituals to create such a monstrosity?
To create calzones.
A tasty monstrosity. 'Cause
You
that
heard about a
seems-
giant ice cream cone.
Make an Arcana check.
It's the first time I've ever in my whole wizard life fought a calzone.
In your whole wizard life?
Yeah, I mean, I fought
It's not over yet.
pudgy things, but never a calzone.
21 unnatural.
21?
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, I can.
You are very familiar. You've definitely heard about the construction of things, living things out of non-living things in the form of golems.
Calzone golem.
Guys, I think that was a very tasty golem. Precious.
Golem.
So they were dead?
The only thing I know of them is that they're usually protectors of some kind of dark magic users.
What were they protecting?
Unmayas, come with me, and we're gonna
Oh yes.
crowd around Raphael for a moment. Raphael, tell me, do you have any enemies in the city? People who would want you dead? People who would benefit from your passing?
No, everyone loves me.
Do you know of any strong magic users in the city? Because this is not a feat a simple magic user can do. Someone with years of experience, maybe even decades.
Yeah, it takes a long time to bake one of those guys.
I mean, calzones are.
You know anybody with any really big ovens?
What about the big oven mitts?
Sherlock Holmes and the mystery of the calzone.
Seriously, dude.
Who has bought a lot of cheese recently?
Because Raphael, whoever sent
As long
these
as they don't
things
cut
after
it.
you, they know you. They know your pride. They know what you were cooking tonight.
Oh, yeah.
And they used your family's artifacts against you.
This was personal. So I'll ask you again. Do you have any enemies in the city? Think hard on this. Someone you pissed off in the past is coming back to roost. Is that the right word? Roost? Yes.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Thanks for the 5 gifted subs.
Thank you.
I don't.
You can see that all the way there? God, I need glasses.
Or a parrot.
Or
Mechanical one.
Well, I know that some of the other chefs in this town are jealous of me.
I told you.
But as far as wanting to kill me, from where would they steal all of their great ideas?
Last question.
Great
What
ideas.
is your
Go ahead.
What is your last name?
I told you, or myself.
Hermosills.
Is that the family that's missing?
That's what he said. Yeah. Well, no,
No, from the crypt.
that's not the big one. Ermiel was the
What was the name of those
Daniel?
people?
yeah.
So
Ermio?
Ermiel was the wealthy family
Ermiel?
who put up the thing for us to go do this.
Ermaciel.
How you spell that?
Ermaciel. Oh, so it is the same.
How you
thing.
spell that?
Oh shit.
Urmisael.
URMI.
yeah, that we're all gonna have a test on this Monday.
I bet donuts to dollars, those are dead people.
Well, it so happens that we are the ones who picked up your bounty about the things being taken from the crypt.
Yep.
You know that was me.
It's kind of hard to tell from. It's not hard to tell from the crypts and the evidence in the crypts.
So you've been to the crypts already.
No, we're just that good. Our Ember's that good.
I'm just gonna let that happen. That was a good line.
Yeah, it was great.
I'm not talking to you. You were outside.
I was just trying to be funny, I'm sorry.
No, we have not made it to the crypts yet, but your family is well known in this city.
But yes, my family is quite wealthy, mostly from the spice trade.
Oh, that smells so good.
May I ask a
So-
You
question?
can
that something Raphael
go have
made?
as much as
Our
go have
Raphael
as
made
much as
this.
you want. There's a ton in there.
Raphael, are there organizations,
It's in the crock pot.
gangs, or whatever you want to call them, to try to control the spice trade in this area? Are there groups of people that try to control the spice trade?
But there are different people and different guilds that have been trying to honing in on the action, as you say, for a long time. But my family is a very reputable.
I know.
But with the coming war, they have been trying to cut off some of our previous trade routes.
Would one of these guilds happen to be an alchemist guild?
No.
We do business with the Alchemist Guild regularly when
Yeah.
they require certain things for their concoctions and potions.
Very well.
But that wouldn't be me.
I
That
know
would-
you went into culinary side of the business, I see. But
yes, I enjoy the kitchen
yes,
very
you're
much.
a great chef. We understand that you're a great chef, but there's someone that is trying their best to undermine you and harm you, and we're trying to get to the bottom of this. So any information that you can give us will be so helpful.
With, like I said, the only people I know that want to hurt me, or my family, is
Perhaps the chef from the Barrelstone Inn? We heard of your rivalry.
It's possible.
Who is it?
Now that I'm thinking about it, are the only people that can form these golems magic users, or can they be alchemists as well?
I don't know what a golem is.
No, I'm talking about DM.
Oh, yes, it takes very powerful magic to make a golem.
So, a non-magic user cannot make one at all, even if they have all the resources at their fingertips.
No, it would take somebody who was tied to the weave and had had arcane resources at their disposal.
Okay.
Do you know of any? Let me ask you, Raphael. I know you're well known in this town, but do you know of any necromancers around this area?
Necromancy? What?
Have you
No,
heard of any?
I'm a simple chef.
I know, but you hear things. You go to the market every day to get spices and herbs and vegetables, and you make the rounds around the town.
I have never heard of any sort of necromancy.
That's funny. It's like going to the grocery store and being like, "Hey, man."
Do you see any dead people on sale today?
I have.
People in these towns talk, you know.
I'm sorry, Vesamon. I have no knowledge of a necromancy.
Okay, I'm just
trying to be helpful, but
I
I just
understand.
don't know.
I'm just trying to touch all bases, as it were. Being a magic user myself, I'm trying to decode or decipher who would use this type of magic against you.
Well, if you are the ones who are accepting the bounty, I appreciate how thorough you are being.
More specifically,
Ember, did you want to say something?
I sniff God, no, that's just cheese. No, there's a definite connection here between someone using magic and trying to kill you, and they're making it as personal as possible. Have you ever slighted the Black Rose? Were you late on a delivery? Did you haggle for a price? Did you piss off any one of Roderick's personal guard?
Roderick.
You mean the House of Tam?
Aye.
I am a chef. I make these creations, but for people to bring joy to people's lives. I do not. Perhaps someone else in my family.
Who in your family specifically deals in the spice trade?
That would be my father. He's a very powerful man.
What's his name?
Caldeon.
What? Caldeon.
Caldeon.
Calzone.
He is my favorite person in the world. He's who I named my calzone after.
I thought so.
This is the best episode we've ever fucking had.
Yeah.
So, Zach, as they're all talking, Salcia is still going along with the parade of people
Okay.
in town, and she's still dancing and
I'm
trying
keeping
to
a
get
close
some
eye. I'm not
coins.
singing.
Okay, make another performance check.
I'm not saying.
I'm assuming she's parading the streets naked.
Yeah, she's just kind of playing.
24.
Like big butts,
24?
like cannot lie.
Okay.
One of them many terrible rap songs.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Okay, another 4 gold, another 71 silver, and
Very nice.
and 41 copper.
Visibility on yourself.
No, thank you, sir.
Can you?
What?
I think we ought to go with visibility, you and I.
As she's dancing, does she notice anyone she recognizes from when she was a pirate?
That way.
Make a perception
You
check.
know.
I'm out in the street chasing her.
Not right now, but you know what I'm saying? When we get as much information as we can.
The best time to do it is right after the battle.
16.
16?
I'm following her, make sure she's not getting gang raped. I'm not singing anymore, but I'm definitely helping her hold all her change.
Like one of the fans.
Yeah, I have to look at the change somewhere. So.
Yeah, I got you. I'm your guy. Your coin holder.
You're her huckleberry. He'll be your Huckleberry.
By the way, Zach, this is amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So the teriyaki sauce is my Hawaiian teriyaki sauce. Yes, that's
We're gonna have the monster
that's
version
the
of this?
reason. It's the reason. The reason I did that again is because I accidentally made so much and I didn't want it to go to waste. So
Dude, I ate it. It was so
It was-
rich. I'm
it
like
was very
lethargic
gosh.
now. It's good.
excellent.
Yeah.
So
I
anyway,
really love the
back to the game.
pineapple.
Yes. The perception check. yes.
Okay, so the perception check. That you see some faces that look strangely familiar. Some clothes, but nobody that you can definitely place from your past.
Okay, she's gonna keep dancing and going
Okay.
along.
Alright, so what I'm gathering is perhaps we check the keep and look at whatever families are also missing things.
Not that, just that. I think he needs to pretend he's dead for a little bit.
I agree. Perhaps he can stay in one of our rooms.
I could kill him.
Yeah. Yeah.
What now?
That'll do it.
Just
What
kidding.
did
I think
say?
you,
Well,
I think you
didn't
missed your
understand
chance
what
there,
you
miss.
said.
The man is
What
quite
did you
alive,
say?
and I would like him to stay that way.
Same, truly.
Hey, you guys don't have to speak. I couldn't even hear anything anybody said.
Well, you're not here.
Yeah, we're all around. We're here.
Oh,
You
you
know,
are
Jack
here?
and I are the
Okay.
only ones
Yeah,
gone.
Jack and
Oh, that's right.
Jacking
He was
off
talking
or
about that.
But
outside.
Jacking off. That's our tag team name.
Raphael,
Jack off.
perhaps you have a second in command in your kitchen who could take over for you while you go on a vacation.
In the underworld.
I don't know. It's another week of a calzone, and I'm just perfecting my newest dish.
Okay, imagine
Next
this.
week,
But
next week, I'm premiering a pizza.
Raphael, if you're dead, you can't premiere anything.
Not just that. Imagine everyone thinks you're gone. They're mourning, they're sad, and then suddenly you're back. All these seats taken, people waiting out the lines for you.
Make a persuasion check with
That was
advantage.
good.
Damn, on point.
I know.
I'm doing pretty good today. That's 8 persuasion.
19.
He said, "You're right. Oh, the greatest artists are dead already. If I were to come back to life, do you really think you could pull it off? Do you really
You
think
would be booked.
Solid.
this could be the greatest thing in the world for my career?
Yes.
If you can find this, if you can figure this out, I'll double the reward."
Boom!
That is going to happen. Then, where can you lay low?
He's
Oh,
fat.
everywhere in this town knows me.
I have an idea, but it would require the help of someone who can disguise shit. Long term.
Long term?
Ah,
I'm
a little
thinking-
friend of ours that's not here.
Would Mistio still be here
Monsieur.
to talk to utilize one of his skills?
He is here.
Mistios,
Yeah.
listen. This man needs to be dead. I'm not saying kill him,
Put your knife away.
but what I'm thinking is, can you disguise him as someone else? We can escort him back to Captain Eli, and he can stay locked up under lock and key, with somewhere safe as someone else, just until we get this handled. I'll give you extra money for whatever supplies you use on him.
I can do that. So let's see. Oh, and he got a nat 20 on the disguise. So, as he quick pulls out, as he pulls out his dagger and quickly shaves off Raphael's mustache to it. Please, he's like, as the dagger goes across.
It's all
And he
part
says-
of the good, Raphael. Just deal with it.
and makes him up to look and perfectly disguises his face, and he said, "For good measure, just until we get him to the jail cell." And he slips the ring on his finger and chunguses him. So he is completely unrecognizable.
He is Chungus.
Turns into a fucking hippo person.
And we should burn one of these bodies so much they can't recognize them, and then we'll play them off as...
The calzone body?
I would usually.
Yes.
No, the,
No
the
bones in the
civilian
calzone.
body.
Melted cheese smells really
I would
good.
usually say that this is your forte, but I have an idea. Armaeus, I'll need your help. We're going to drag one of the calzone carcasses over the body. Esteban, would you finish what you started with this poor person?
Yes, sir. Raphael, let me have your cloak so we can put it on and it'll look like, it'll look like him.
You might need to look up. He's about 7.5 feet tall now.
And he's lumbering around. His apron and everything was actually it's actually on the floor beside him because when he was disguising him, his apron and his chef shirt are on the floor beside him.
Just
So,
put it over the thing, so
okay,
it'll look like,
on one of the burned bodies.
yes,
Okay.
so it'll look like him.
And then we'll drag the calzone next to it, so it looks like
Yeah,
what I'm trying to create is the calzone finished its job
Yeah.
and then got killed.
yes. Okay, you just throw the dead body right into the top of the calzone.
And then I want you to scorch
So
everything.
again, you take what's left of this calzone, this now kind of like soggy, wet dough that was nice and crisp earlier, and you're able to. It takes a bit of effort because it's a lot of cheese, and leaving a trail of cheese and tomato sauce across the floor as you drag it across and
Shit.
plop it down.
Then
Yeah.
burn everything again.
Your CSI is gonna fail.
That's good enough.
Yeah.
This body was dragged. Dun-dun-dun.
My God. Seems like someone ordered extra cheese.
It looks like they ordered it to go.
Alright, I'm done. And then
We're so bad.
when
That's just cheesy.
When-
Alright, we gotta cancel the show.
when the deed is complete, which
Indeed.
Raphael, or shall I say Chungus, shall we take him to Eli?
Do we fill in Eli?
Do
or do
you,
we leave him
You,
with
yeah,
you?
we don't, look, I don't know about this Eli guy. He might not be that dependable either. Let's
this is how
take
we-
him to our room and let's make it like he's one of ours.
This is how we. Well, we're going to hide him.
If
in-
we lock him up, he's trapped. If somebody finds out, they can get to him and he's trapped and he can't get away.
He doesn't look like himself by any stretch of the
Yeah, they're not
imagination.
gonna find out.
He's a chungus. He's a fucking hippo.
Yeah, unless
Yeah.
they have a screaming.
Well,
bull.
let's board him with the horses instead.
Treat him like an animal.
This
He's gonna
plan-
love
this plan
that.
is falling apart. So, do we? All right.
Do you? I think this will work.
I think
Yeah,
you're,
have you looked in the mirror, buddy? Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not there.
you're pretty hard to recognize, Raphael. But I would, for now, your name is Chungus. Until this is over.
Chungus.
Perfect. Say it again for me.
Chungus.
Got it. Yes.
You got nice hippo hips.
Wow, thank you.
So, do we want to have him in the jail, or do we want to have him in our room upstairs under lock and key?
He can be just a random patron for a while.
Yeah, nobody's gonna. I mean, this is me not even being there, but nobody's gonna recognize him. He's a fucking hippo now. He looks nothing like himself. Who the hell would think to look for a hippo?
Do you usually stay here, or do you have your own home?
Oh, my home is upstairs.
Shit. So he stays here already.
Alright,
I
let's take him
have
to Eli.
I have a lovely apartment above the inn.
I say he takes one of our rooms. We have 4.
Yeah,
Okay.
that'd be the easy way.
I tell you what, if I take your room, you take my apartment.
Yes.
Done.
Yes, and that way we can keep watch if anybody comes around looking for anything of his.
We'll just look like spotters.
What? He's dead. It's our apartment now.
Well, no, but
I will.
but some of these bad guys may come to his apartment looking for something.
I will inform Aaron of our plan.
All right.
Who? What? You gonna what?
He's going
I will
to kill.
inform Aaron of our plan,
Who's there?
but 2 octaves lower.
Aaron's the hostess.
Huh?
Erin's the hostess of the Roaring Griffin.
Do you trust
I wouldn't
Aaron?
tell anybody
Should you,
anything.
that's what I was gonna say. Do you trust Aaron?
I wouldn't
Yeah.
trust anybody.
Yeah, don't tell anyone.
Raphael, as far as they know
No,
you're dead,
not even
you
now.
can't trust anyone. You don't trust it because somebody that's really close to you could be doing this.
Raphael, if you want this plan to go over and you want to debut you called it a pizza? If you want to debut your pizza as your magnificent resurrection, you have to be dead. No one can know this.
Not even ever, no one.
Let them mourn.
For this to work. Okay.
Alright, this is the key to room 5. It's our room. Take whatever you need from the kitchen, and that's your room, so you stay there, okay? If anyone asks, what's your name?
Chunguso.
Alright, you're good. He's ready.
And he goes off to the kitchen and he comes out with what looks to be about in his large GIF arms, with like 6 pounds of sausage, and he says, I cannot go to my kitchen for a week. What will I do? I cannot cook. It's like I cannot breathe.
You can, there's there's ink and paper in the room, correct? Perhaps you could draw up new recipes.
Use your imagination and then test it all when you come back.
Please, let me know when you have come to a conclusion.
We'll wrap it up as quick as we can.
Dick, a good night.
5 years
It makes his
later.
way up the stairs to the room, and as you see him disappear up the stairs, you all look to each other, the lingering smell of tomato sauce and cheese as you look around, and that's where we're going to call it a night.
Nice.
Can Salty, I do
a
one
good
more
episode.
dance before we call it a night?
Make one more performance check.
You got it.
That was crazy.
Is it 12?
12?
It's not over
The
yet.
crowd starts beginning to dissipate a little bit. Everybody's getting wasted by this time. They're you're able to get see, no gold, 11 silver, but 77 copper. All right.
That's what you got for the evening?
Yeah.
Yeah, you made out like a bandit.
See, what I like to do is take the coin that I got out of the bucket, those coins, and I see that Mitzi, I made so much money. Salty, I made so much money that I give this money to Gregor here.
Gregor.
So he gets 15 copper and 3 silver.
To Jack, I give
And I
it.
Well,
I give
thank
this
you
money to Jack.
everybody
It is
who
trouble here,
thank
Jack.
you for
This is
everybody
real
who
trouble.
stuck around to the end there. We really appreciate you for participating or partaking in our super silliness. I actually will probably put this monster up if anybody wants to use my homebrewed calzone golem in their home game.
Yes, that was very confusing when that first happened.
Yeah.
Like,
You were like, it's a 6-foot humanoid. It's a calzone. I was like, what?
What was it like on your end to look at us
Try to
and
fabricate it.
trying to understand
Watching
what
your
you
reactions and watching the wheels slowly spin and then spin out of place and then try to catch again as you're slowly catching up with my descriptions.
Yeah,
It
it's
was
like,
fucking hilarious.
I
It was
genuinely,
awesome.
I genuinely thought that like those were dudes like in mascot costumes just getting into a bar fight, and we were gonna roll in and like attack one, and blood comes out. We're like, oh, stop!
It's just two
that means
tomato sauce.
That means that next week we're gonna have to solve this case as quick as possible.
So, but anyway, and thanks so much for the raid, and there was some gifted subs tonight, man. Really, that's so much. It's actually because we've been doing this a long time, and it's really kind of hard to process sometimes that people actually watch us be silly and do this, but we really appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much. Don't forget, we're here every Sunday. I think we've only missed one Sunday in the past year, and it was for the greatest reason ever. And we're so very happy that Ember is back from her world tour, which was incredibly successful. She got rave reviews everywhere she went.
we didn't even miss that one because we got back from the wedding and we played that night.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, we
haven't
played.
missed a
Yeah, we
Sunday
played.
yet.
Yeah. So
every Sunday.
One thing really quick. For the sake of Josh, who plays Mystios, can we say that that he escorted Raphael to the room and got his Chungus ring back because he would pitch a bitch fit if he loses that. He loves that ring.
Yeah. I mean, he already lost. Yeah. I mean, he as he closes the door, and secures the room, which has been paid for a week. You already paid for it for a week, didn't you?
Well, we paid for 2 days. But,
2 days.
But now we have his suite, so he's fine.
So, yeah, but they're gonna come kick him out in 2 days.
We'll pay again.
And
Well, I mean, but they.
but as he closes the door and makes sure that it closes with a lock, he can hear it click, and he takes the ring and puts it back in his pocket.
Cool. Okay.
Because he did already lose his cloak of invisibility, and I know that had to be a tough blow for him.
Yeah.
Oh, and his ring of regen. To the
Yeah. The king has his ring of generation.
Oh my God! So much lost treasure. But anyway, thanks again for sticking around. Love you guys, and hopefully we'll see you next Sunday.
Thanks for watching.
Have a good time.
We're gonna throw a raid out at a random.
God.
We're gonna throw a raid out for a random D&D guy.
Okay.
Nice.
That means
Say what's up to him. Make him feel welcome. I don't know who he is, but I picked him at random. So
What's his name?
it's the Booker DeWitt.
Oh, he plays
nice.
Bioshock.
He's
Oh,
also,
nice.
He's currently playing D&D. So
Hell yeah!
playing.
Hi, Booker.
Everyone join in. Make sure if you have my
Sorry,
emotes, jazz hands, throw those jazz hands up.
Yeah.
Yes, son.
I want an emote. Is there two cocks battling it out?
No, there's no horse cocks.
Sort of. Horse cock. Horse cock.
Is he on?
Yes.
Yeah, we're gone
Sweet.
now.
I don't know what he's doing, but rules your mom.
They stopped the stream kill before you forget.
Yeah. Thank you.